Chapter 709 Magic City. Fong Ping had no right to interfere with what Zhang Tao and the others were talking about. After the meeting, Fong Ping made a phone call. After waiting for a while, Jiang Chao chuckled and said, "Fong Ping, are you all right? What can happen to me?" Fong Ping chuckled, "But I still have to thank Senior Warlord. Fatty, I heard that Senior Warlord was injured. How is he now?" Jiang Chao heard Fong Ping's question and thought for a while before answering. "You know me. I'm not that strong, so I can't sense it. But it should be fine. Otherwise, Marshal King and the others wouldn't have come and left. My elder ancestor is very loud." Fong Ping could not help but laugh. He continued, "This time Senior Warlord has given me a mentality clone, which has helped me a lot. It's only right that I pay him a visit." Before he finished, the phone seemed to be snatched away. In the next second, Zhang Yuanhua laughed loudly. "Fong Ping, it's a long journey. Don't run both ways. Cultivate well and strive to achieve rank 9 as soon as possible." Zhang Yuanhua was very concerned about Fong Ping. After a while, he even reminded him, "You really don't have to come. Elder Ancestor is fine. Also, there are a lot of things happening in the city recently. Even if you come, we probably won't have time to receive you. If we neglect you, won't it show that Star City is not a good host?" There was only one meaning in his words. Since he had received his thanks, there was no need for him to come. Even if he came, Star City would not receive him. Fong Ping felt helpless. Did they have to do this? I really want to pay a visit. After all, Warlord gave me a mentality avatar this time and helped me kill Elder 9. Now that the old man is injured, wouldn't it show my sincerity to visit him? However, since Zhang Yuanhua refused, Fong Ping could not do anything about it. He could only say, "Then I won't go. However, please send my regards to Senior Warlord. This time, Senior Warlord has killed a true king and raised the prestige of humanity's peak. Congratulations to Senior Warlord." Zhang Yuanhua did not know if it was because he was happy to hear that he would not go, or because Warlord killed a true king, but he was in a good mood. After hearing Fong Ping's words, he smiled. "I will definitely pass it on. The Elder Ancestor was also very happy to hear about the news from your side. The 9 great elders of the evil cult have all been exposed. This merit is no less than killing a true king. The 9 level 9 martial artists hiding in the human group were all found out. Such an achievement was really not less than killing a real king. Otherwise, once the war started with so many rank 9s, some of whom were even the core of humanity, it would be even more dangerous if they betrayed him at a crucial moment." After the two chatted for a while, the phone was in Jiang Chao's hand. Jiang Chao took the phone and said in a low voice, "Don't listen to my grandfather. What ancestor is very happy? Previously, when the Martial King and the Nether King came to visit Ancestor, not only did Ancestor scold the Martial King, he also scolded you. He said that the next time he sees you, he will beat you to death. Fong Ping, it's good that you didn't come. If you did, I might beat you to death." Fong Ping was stunned for a moment. "Why?" Very quickly, Fong Ping's gaze turned sharp, and he could not help but curse in a low voice. Even a paragon has a loose mouth. He was so stifled that he didn't know how to curse anymore. Old Zhang, this old bastard, shameless. There was no need to ask. It was definitely old Zhang who told him that he had scolded the Battle King. However, Fong Ping felt that he was very innocent. "I didn't scold him. I was just telling the truth, saying that the Battle King's mentality is weak and his avatar can't kill an Origin Path powerhouse. Just look and you'll know. Li Zhen's avatar could not kill 5th Elder. Old Zhang's mentality avatar was not weak. It killed 6th Elder Morta, but that was also because Morta did not put up much of a guard. Of course, from this, it could be seen that old Zhang's avatar was still extremely powerful. No matter how careless Morta was, he was still an Origin Path powerhouse. He would not be so careless. In the end, he was still killed. This was also a gap in the avatar's strength." Jiang Chao said a few words, then chuckled and said, "Let's not talk about Ancestor first. Fong Ping, I'm going to achieve rank 7 soon. Tell me, when the time comes, should I hold a Grandmaster banquet? Also, Li Fei and Zheng Nanqi, These two fellows are going to achieve it soon too. They're both at mentality-vitality fusion now. Zissou has also achieved peak rank 6. Previously, everyone said that our generation in Star City is not as good as those fellows before us. Now they're slapping their faces. We're almost at rank 7 now, he said excitedly. Fong Ping was stunned for a moment. After a while, he said, Li Fei and the others haven't achieved rank 7 yet? Zhang Chao was dazed for a while. Suddenly, he did not know what to say. Fong Ping sighed. Back then, they were upper stage rank 6. Qin Fengqing had just achieved rank 5. I was also only peak rank 5. Now, I'm already rank 8. Qin Fengqing is already rank 7. Why are they still stuck at rank 6? Zhang Chao wanted to cry, but had no tears. After a long while, he said dryly, the back then that you're talking about was in April this year. We only met then. In June, we only participated in the youth tournament. In July, we only entered the Land of Kings. It's October now. Fong Ping. From the time we met until now, it's only been half a year. Only half a year. In this half a year, we've improved rapidly. I achieved mentality-vitality fusion from middle stage rank 6. Zissou has already achieved peak rank 6 from early stage rank 6. According to our original plan, even if we entered the Land of Kings, we'd need to spend 1 or 2 years before we could achieve rank 7. Why do you think that we're slow? Zhang Chao was very gloomy. They were fast, super fast. They were almost faster than his family's freak. His family's freak had only broken through to rank 7 after entering the Land of Kings for close to a year. Li Fei and the rest were not very optimistic before this. Now, however, everyone was about to achieve rank 7. It could be said that suppressing Star City had exploded once again in their generation. However, they were looked down upon. When he thought about it, it did not seem to be wrong. Fong Ping and the rest were too King scary. Fong Ping was a little absent-minded at this moment. After a while, he laughed. Only half a year has passed? Only half a year had passed. Why did he feel that a lot of time had passed? In this half a year, he went to the Tian'an Catacombs and went to the Void Mausoleum Grotto Heaven. He went to the Magic City Catacombs and destroyed Skygate City. He participated in the World Youth Tournament and went to the Land of Kings to kill a large number of Catacombs geniuses. He went to the Shishan Catacombs and entered the Xuanda Grotto Heaven. He went to the Forbidden Catacombs and lured out the evil sect's 9 High Elders. His ability even went from rank 5 to rank 8. Not rank 4 in a year, but rank 3 in half a year. If Zhang Chao did not mention it, Fong Ping would have almost forgotten about it. It turned out that all of this had happened in half a year. Of course, it's only been half a year, Zhang Chao said helplessly. To be honest, you guys are living a fulfilling life. Anyway, this half a year has been full of news about you guys. It's all news about you guys, one after another, almost never stopping. Over here in Suppressing Star City, everyone knows your name, Fong Ping. My pervert is going crazy. He just came back a few days ago, and then he went to the Land of Kings again, saying that he won't come back until he's rank 8. When he was rank 7, you hadn't started martial arts yet. He's already upper stage rank 7, and you're rank 8, don't mention it. When you announced that you were going to break through to rank 8, the pervert yelled like a madman at home, saying that he's the real genius. He ran away that night, and nobody could stop him. At this point, Zhang Chao said again, all right, let's not talk about this. Fong Ping, do you think we should hold a Grandmaster banquet now that I've broken through to rank 7? Are you going to break through? Didn't you say that it would take a long time for mentality-vitality fusion to reach stage 7 in Star Town? Zhang Chao chuckled and said, that was in the past. It's much better now. We haven't been idle during this period of time. Li Fei and the rest have gone to the King's battleground a few times. Last time, you almost killed everyone. Ji Yao and the rest have broken through to rank 7. There aren't many people in the rank 6 region now. It can be said that this is our world. You went too? Fong Ping was a little surprised. Zhang Chao had also gone to the King's battleground. Was he not afraid of being beaten to death? Zhang Chao thought nothing of it. He chuckled and said, of course I'm going. I'm not you. Now that everyone knows it's your fault, I'm just a scapegoat. My ancestor is still a battle monarch, so they don't dare to cross realms to deal with me. With you attracting everyone's attention, these people don't really care about us. Right now, Feng Miexing, Ji Yao, and the others from the Rank 7 region are bent on finding trouble with you. Small fries like us are being ignored. Fong Ping could not help but laugh. He opened his mouth and said, "That's good too. Let these people keep watching. However, if you really break through, I might not be able to go and congratulate you. The problem is that even if I go, Startown doesn't welcome me. Really, I didn't do anything. It was old Yao who did it last time. What's the meaning of you guys rejecting me? Forget it. Look at the situation now. Who doesn't know that you're the one who secretly comes up with bad ideas?" Jiang Chao said with a chuckle. Very quickly, he added, "In the future, you can call me anytime. My ancestor is back." He opened a small hole in the regional wall. "In the future, we can also go online and watch television here." Jiang Chao. Before Jiang Chao could finish his sentence, the call was hung up. Fong Ping could already imagine how Jiang Yuanhua would beat this guy up. A small hole was opened in the regional wall. This was Startown's secret. Jiang Chao, this city trader, was starting to sell information again. Fong Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry. He made it sound like it was a big secret. "I'm just too lazy to go to Startown. If I really want to go, I can go in without opening the hole." After hanging up the phone, Qin Fengqing chuckled and said, "Fong Ping, are you going to the catacombs soon? Why don't we go to the Tian'an catacombs? There are no high-ranked powerhouses in the Tian'an catacombs. How about we go to the bounded zone? You were thrown out last time. Didn't you gain something in the Xuanda Grotto? Maybe you weren't strong enough last time. This time we're both high-ranked. How about we go and make some money?" Fong Ping said as he walked, "I won't bring you along. I'm rank 7. Qin Fengqing looked indignant. He was a high-rank powerhouse. Fong Ping could not be bothered with him. He shook his head and said, "Don't go to the bounded zone for now. It might not be a good thing. There might be powerhouses sleeping in the bounded zone. If you go, you might disturb them. Moreover, the powerhouses sleeping in the bounded zone might not be as easy to talk to as the Xuanda Grotto." Before this, we were looking for cultivation methods. Although middle-rank martial artists still lack mentality cultivation methods, we don't need them for now. If we go now, other than getting some energy earth and energy stones, what else can we do? Qin Fengqing thought about it and felt that it made sense. He said hurriedly, "Then why don't we go to Mount Royal Sea to kill some monsters and get some divine weapons back?" Fong Ping tilted his head and looked at him. He frowned and said, "We're not going anywhere. Stabilizing the realm is the most important. It's not hard for you to materialize your brain nucleus. Materialize your brain nucleus as soon as possible and cultivate for a while to control your strength. You've just reached rank 7. Where can you go? Also, you've reached rank 7 and your realm is stable. Go to Magic City's catacombs as soon as possible. If you really have nothing to do, go to Monster Sunflower City and hook up a few rank 7s. Kill them and weaken Monster Sunflower City's strength." Over at Monster Sunflower City, I've been thinking about that big sunflower. Although we can cultivate mentality ourselves, the sunflower's sunflower seeds can increase mentality. I'm guessing it should be a treasure that can strengthen the brain nucleus. If the sunflower seeds have such an effect, what about the big sunflower's flower head? Monster Sunflower City has 2 rank 9s, 3 rank 8s, and 14 rank 7s. This was their previous combat strength. Now there are 2 rank 9s, 2 rank 8s, and 8 rank 7s. Don't you like to look for trouble? Then go look for trouble and try killing a few rank 7s. When we're fully prepared one day, we'll wipe out Monster Sunflower City and kill that big sunflower. After materializing the brain nucleus, the big sunflower seeds may be more targeted and accelerate the growth of our mentality. When Fong Ping mentioned these, Qin Fengqing was almost drooling. Monster Sunflower City's big sunflower had really been eyeing for a long time. As early as when Fong Ping and the others raided the lair of the first rank 7 martial artist, Commander Sky Wolf, they had already received news about that big sunflower. At that time, Fong Ping and Qin Fengqing had just entered middle ranks. Now one was rank 7 and the other was rank 8. Now, Qin Fengqing did not mention entering the bounded domain anymore. The most important thing for rank 7 was to increase mentality. Going to the bounded domain might not necessarily result in a big increase in mentality. On the contrary, that big sunflower's effect on rank 7 martial artists was more obvious. Alright, then I'll go cultivate. I'll materialize the brain nucleus first. After killing that big sunflower, I'll quickly enter upper stage rank 7. Hone my skull, enter rank 8. Forge a golden body, comprehend the origin path, enter rank 9. Then follow the path to the end and enter the impasse realm. Qin Fengqing arranged his own path plan in a few words. There was not much to arrange. It was just to be fast, fast, fast. It would be best to enter the peak immediately. Fong Ping saw that he was running fast and did not bother to say anything. However, when he saw that he was flying toward his own crystal tower, he suddenly scolded, "Go back to your own crystal tower." This guy, did he have no sense of direction? That was his territory. As a high-rank powerhouse, MCMEU had previously built 30 crystal towers in one go, and all the grandmasters had a share. Qin Fengqing had one too, but this guy was still flying toward him. Qin Fengqing hurriedly turned around, chuckling. "I'm used to it. However, the energy on my side doesn't seem to be rich enough. Fong Ping, open a back door for me." "Get lost!" Fong Ping scolded. Qin Fengqing ran very fast, disappearing into the sky in no time. Qin Fengqing went back to cultivate in seclusion. Fong Ping also began to walk back. He also needed to stop and sort out a little. The breakthrough was too fast. Half a year, from rank 5 to rank 8. In this half a year, he had also entered the catacombs many times. He did not have time to stop at all. Now that he had reached rank 8 third refinement, it was reasonable to say that he could be considered a middle-stage rank 8 martial artist after completing rank 8 second refinement golden body forging. However, Fong Ping now felt that he had nowhere to exert his strength. He had a strong vitality and a strong golden body. His strength was a few times stronger than that of a rank 7, but he was like a Hercules, appearing a little clumsy. On the contrary, it was even easier than when he was not rank 7. I'll wait for old Zhang to give me some benefits. Before that, I'll stop for a while. Fong Ping thought for a while and decided not to cultivate the golden body for now. The more powerful the golden body forging, the harder it was for him to control his own strength. If this went on, when he reached rank 8 ninth refinement, he might only be able to take a little more hits, but his combat power might not increase much. With a vitality of more than 100,000 cal, as his strength increased, his control might weaken. The stronger his body, the weaker his outburst would be. On the night of October 11th, Fong Ping went into closed-door cultivation. Before he went into closed-door cultivation, he issued a mission to all the realms. Kill the cultists. The cultists dared to attack him when he was breaking through. He, Fong Ping, was not someone to be trifled with. They attacked him several times in a row. Did they really think he was easy to bully? Martial artists of the 3 lower ranks, regardless of rank. Headcount only. 5 million each. Martial artists of the 3 middle ranks, martial artists below mentality vitality fusion, regardless of rank. Headcount only. 30 million each. Mentality vitality fusion, 100 million. Rank 7, starting from 1 billion. Rank 8, starting from 10 billion. Fong Ping did not mention rank 9. This was because on the surface, there were no more rank 9 existences in the evil sect. Even if there were, they probably would not be exposed. As soon as the mission was announced, martial arts universities everywhere were in an uproar. The 3 departments and 4 prefectures were in an uproar. How extravagant! Regardless of rank, headcount only. 5 million each. One had to know that when Fong Ping was not a martial artist yet, Wang Jinyang had only given a few 100,000 to hunt down a peak rank 2 martial artist like Huang Bin. Now the starting price was 5 million. MCMU's Fong Ping was indeed rich. On this day, some grandmaster powerhouses who did not go to the catacombs heard the news. Kill the evil sect powerhouses. Repay the debt. The opportunity had come. Nowadays, there were many grandmasters in Sino Nation who owed Fong Ping a debt. Previously, when Lu Polu wanted to collect the debt, many old men and old women had a headache. Now, killing a rank 7 would be at least 1 billion. Killing a rank 8 would be at least 10 billion. In the past, the evil sect powerhouses did not show up and did not provoke anyone. Everyone was too lazy to care. Now, this was money. Even if it was used to repay the debt, it was still money. The grandmasters who owed Fong Ping money would either get divine weapons or other things. These were all practical benefits. On the night of the 11th, the entire Sino nation was hunting down evil sect martial artists. As for the other countries in the world, they could only curse. Fong Ping added a restriction to the mission. It was limited to Sino nation. He was not interested in helping other countries to eliminate evil sect members. If they wanted to eliminate them, they could do it themselves. Fong Ping would not do it. As for money, the evil sect members did not have much. If there were tens of thousands of evil sect martial artists in Sino Nation, then Fong Ping had overestimated the evil sect. Before this, there were not many martial artists in Sino Nation, barely a million. For the evil sect to have tens of thousands of martial artists, that was really enough. At least 90% of the 3 lower ranks, and definitely less than 1,000 in the 3 middle ranks. As for the high ranks, many of them had been killed before. Fong Ping had calculated. Even if he killed all the evil sect martial artists in Sino Nation, the total would be 200 billion at most. Even if no one paid the debt, without deducting the IOU, 200 billion was less than 700 caddies of rank 9 energy stones. He could still afford it. In reality, grandmasters owed a lot of debts. Fong Ping probably did not need to spend a dime to kill those middle and high-ranked martial artists. As for the low-ranked ones, even if 10,000 people were killed, it would only be 50 billion. Fong Ping really did not care too much about less than 200 caddies of rank 9 energy stones. In the past, the energy stones that were sold and traded in grams were now, at least in caddies for Fong Ping. Sino Nation. Because of Fong Ping's mission, a large number of martial artists were mobilized to hunt down evil sect members everywhere. On the same day, night, the catacombs. The catacombs' night was always dark. Sky Plant City. The crystal-like Sky Plant City was still as bright as day. Outside the palace, in a huge house, front hall, Zhao Xingwu sat on a chair, silent, his eyes alert. Beside him, 8th Elder revealed his true appearance. He had short black hair, an Asian face, and a dark gaze. At this moment, he was also very alert. There were a total of 5 people in the front hall. Other than Zhao Xingwu and 8th Elder, there were 3 others. The 3 of them sat opposite them, sizing them up. Zhao Xingwu's expression was cold. After a long time, he said slowly, "Have you guys seen enough? I'm not a monkey. In my eyes, martial artists below the catacombs' true king are not qualified to look me in the eye. If you look again, don't blame me for being rude." Grand Elder, 8th Elder said softly. It was better to keep a low profile when they were in someone else's territory. 8th Elder had also stepped into the origin path. He was not a weakling, but this was the monster plant's royal court's lair. Here, even the human peak level would be wary. Since they were here, they had to keep a low profile. Humph! Zhao Xingwu snorted coldly. He looked at the masked martial artist on the left and sneered disdainfully. The Pope's messenger. Interesting. You're here, and you still don't dare to show your face. Are you afraid that I'll recognize you? The masked martial artist's voice was hoarse. He laughed and said, "Don't misunderstand, Leader Zhao. I'm not guarding against you too. I'm just trying to avoid some trouble." Zhao Xingwu did not care. He paused for a moment and said, "Originally, I thought I could kill Fong Ping this time. That's why I made a move. But Fong Ping didn't die." At this point, Zhao Xingwu's eyes were cold. He looked at the masked martial artist and the other 2, saying coldly, "It's all because of you bunch of trash." Li Chongqing and Wu Quishan left the catacombs in 3 minutes. The Pope swore that the only traitor was Lin Long. What happened in the end? In the end, Zali Kaluo betrayed us and killed Varna. You said that Zhang Tao would not split his mentality avatar. In the end, he did. You said that Star City would not give Fong Ping his mentality avatar. In the end, Warlord did. Could it be that the Pope thought that I was easy to bully and wanted to deliberately kill me? Now, not only did I gain nothing, but I've also completely exposed my identity. I actually escaped into the Forbidden Zone. You bunch of clowns dare to judge me. Do you think I'll be bullied when I've fallen? Before the masked martial artist could speak, the other two people opposite him. One of them was dressed in plain clothes that seemed to be made of silk. His long hair draped over his shoulders, and his face was always smiling. At this moment, he slowly picked up his teacup, took a sip, and said in a magnetic voice, "Don't be impatient, Leader Zhao." This young and handsome man smiled warmly and said, "This time, the plan went wrong. No one wanted it to be like this. Since Leader Zhao has come to Sky Plant City." Before he finished, Zhao Xingwu sneered and said, "What? Are you sure you have me? Do you really think that I have to bow down to you just because I came here?" "Ridiculous," Zhao Xingwu said playfully. "It's true that I joined an evil sect. But joining an evil sect doesn't mean that I'm on the same side as the catacombs. You bunch of beasts, you want me to be your dog? At my level, there are some things that I'll say directly. Be a dog, then I'd rather be a dog for Zhang Tao and Li Jun. You're not qualified yet. I joined an evil sect to improve my martial arts, not to be a dog for the Pope. Not to mention you guys. This time, I'm in trouble. Either you kill me now, or you guys think of a way to send me to the outskirts so that I can hide in the outskirts for a period of time. I can't guarantee that I'll repay you in the future, but I can guarantee that when the war breaks out in the future, if there's a chance, I'll enter the pinnacle, let a true king go, and not kill the other party. If I don't enter the pinnacle, I'll also let a few rank 9 go. Consider it today's favor." The handsome man could not help but laugh. "Leader Zhao, why do you have to do this? Aren't you forcing us to kill you by saying this? At this time, does Leader Zhao think that you can still return to the land of rebirth?" "Why not?" Zhao Xingwu said lightly. "I didn't kill Fong Ping and Kong Lingyuan. Killing Fong Ping is also to let me enter the pinnacle sooner, to contribute more power. I don't have the intention to betray humanity. Everything I do is for humanity. I've always known that the Pope has close ties with you guys. I thought it was just a simple cooperation. When the war breaks out, the Pope will still stand on the side of humanity. Now, maybe I've overestimated him. An evil sect has really become an evil sect. What a joke. In the past, the Pope contacted me, swearing that the existence of the divine sect is also for humanity." The masked martial artist said calmly, "Grand Elder, you've misunderstood. The Pope is indeed fighting for humanity's survival. Cooperating with the Sky Plant's royal court is only to reduce wars and deaths. Zhang Tao and the others have always been selfish, which is why the war between the two worlds broke out. If we let the Sky Plant's royal court's true king enter Earth earlier, we can still coexist peacefully. Zhang Tao bewitched people's hearts. Once the Sky Plant's royal court enters, they will slaughter all living beings. This is the biggest joke. Humanity is weak, inferior to the few royal courts in the restricted area. This is the truth. Their strength is inferior to others, and they are guarding a treasure mountain, unwilling to hand it over. This is the source of humanity's crisis. Grand Elder is also a martial arts powerhouse. You should understand this." Zhao Xingwu sneered, saying mildly, "You don't have to do this with me. Since I've come to the restricted area, I still want to live. Since you brought me here, you must have a request. Let's get straight to the point. As for whether the Pope has really betrayed humanity or has great ambitions, it has nothing to do with me. I want to live. If you have a request, we'll talk it out. If we can, it's fine too. The moment I attacked Fong Ping, I was prepared to die. I've lived for more than 100 years. I'm not afraid of death. It's just that I'm not satisfied. Maybe I still need you to accompany me on this journey." As soon as he finished speaking, Zhao Xingwu suddenly attacked. With a rumble, the hall exploded. The three people opposite him did not move. The handsome man allowed Zhao Xingwu to choke him, chuckling. "Alliance Leader Zhao, we mean no harm. If we really wanted to kill Alliance Leader Zhao, we only needed to delay for a moment, and Alliance Leader Zhao would have already been killed by Li Jun. Let's sit down and talk. If Alliance leader Zhao is not at ease, we can talk this way. Zhao Xingwu suddenly sighed, laughing self-deprecatingly. He let go of the handsome man and looked up at the sky, saying softly, "Fine, let's talk properly then. Since the true king is here, why not show yourself? Don't tell me that I don't even have the right to see the true king?" Alliance leader Zhao worries too much. "I'm just worried that it will cause a misunderstanding." In the void, a chuckle came. Very soon, a figure appeared in a flash. The broken hall was restored to its original state in an instant. Zhao Xingwu and the others were not surprised. Zhao Xingwu even had a hint of sneering, but he did not say it out loud. Restoring the hall to its original state was similar to how Li Zhen and the others restored the broken chairs that day. It was not worth making a fuss about. Chapter 7:10. Alliance leader Zhao, please take a seat. This true monarch powerhouse landed in the hall and returned to the hall. His figure was like a phantom, and he was already on the throne in the center. "Greetings, Red Plum, true monarch." In the hall, including the masked martial artist, the 3-rank 9 powerhouses bowed in greeting. A female true monarch showed her face at the top of the hall. Zhao Xingwu looked straight at her. He was not infatuated with that exquisite face that seemed fake. He said in a low voice, "Red Plum, true monarch? I'm not familiar with the catacombs' true monarch powerhouses. Is Red Plum true monarch representing herself, the true monarch hall, or the Monster Plant's king court?" "Monster Plant's king court?" Red Plum true monarch smiled faintly. Alliance leader Zhao, according to the land of rebirth saying, "When in Rome, do as the Romans do." Monster Plant's king court is a derogatory term. Since we're here, let's call it Sky Plant's king court. She looked at 8th Elder and smiled faintly. "Kurikawa Mu, you sit down too." 8th Elder hurriedly cupped his fists and sat down. Seeing that Zhao Xingwu was still standing, he coughed lightly, indicating that there was no need for Zhao Xingwu to argue with the catacomb's true monarch now. Zhao Xingwu did not say anything else. He returned to his seat and looked up at Red Plum, true monarch. He said loudly, "The Pope arranged for us to escape into the Forbidden Zone and had the emissary bring us to Sky Plant City. I think the Monster Plant's king court, Alliance leader Zhao, since you're here in Godland, you should learn about Godland's rules." Red Plum, true monarch, did not speak. The handsome youth smiled faintly. "In Godland, Lord True Monarch is supreme. Since Red Plum, true monarch, wants Alliance leader Zhao to do as the Romans do, it's best if Alliance leader Zhao doesn't disobey the true monarch's order." Zhao Xingwu sneered and said disdainfully, "True monarch's order? A piece of trash like you will never become a true monarch. At this old man's realm, why would I be afraid of a true king? If I really was afraid, this old man would never be able to reach the peak in this lifetime. What a joke! If it wasn't for the catacombs' better cultivation environment and the many older true monarchs, there wouldn't be a true monarch in your generation for 300 years. You, the handsome young man, was a bit embarrassed. Red Plum, true monarch, slowly raised her hand and said with a faint smile, "Alliance leader Zhao is indeed one of the strongest cultivators below the true monarch realm. If you have a top-tier rank, 9 divine weapon, and learn a true monarch's ultimate art, the Moon Prince might not have been Alliance Master Zhao's match before his breakthrough. Both True King Hall and Imperial Court pay attention to experts like Alliance leader Zhao." Zhao Xingwu said in a low voice, "True Monarch Crimson Plum, please speak frankly." "I will carefully consider the pros and cons. Right now, I am meat on someone's chopping block. Since I want to live, I will not act on impulse." The Red Plum, true monarch, chuckled. Without delay, she quickly said, "The royal court would like to have Alliance leader Zhao set an example. He would be escorted by several true monarchs to Mount Royal Sea to persuade the land of rebirth martial artists to surrender." "I can't." Zhao Xingwu rejected him without hesitation. True monarch Red Plum's expression turned cold. "Alliance leader Zhao isn't willing to agree to such a small request?" Zhao Xingwu said calmly, "This Zhao said that I joined the evil sect only to become stronger. It was not to betray humanity. If you want to use me as your signboard, I'm sorry I can't comply. Although I've joined an evil sect, I still admire those martial artists who fight against foreign enemies. You can use me for publicity, but I won't stab them with a knife at this time. It's completely different if I don't show up and if I show up. Unless you bring my dead body to publicize, don't even think about it. The Red Plum, true monarch, sneered. So, Alliance leader Zhao has no intention of cooperating with the royal court? Cooperation is only about me. It has nothing to do with humanity. This is my bottom line. It's also my obsession all these years. I want to revive the era of sex and lead them to become stronger. My ultimate goal is to suppress the catacombs, not for my own selfish desires. I oppose Zhang Tao and the others because I think it's unfair. I think they're suppressing my sect martial artists. However, I don't think they're wrong to fight against the catacombs invasion. I admire them for this. Zhao Xingwu was unusually calm. He continued, I don't want to die, and it's not for my own survival. I have my own goals, my own ideals. It's just that Zhang Tao and I have different ideals. If true monarch Red Plum, true monarch thinks that I entered the forbidden zone to betray humanity, then you're gravely mistaken. Martial King, the Red Plum, true monarch murmured. Then, she was no longer cold. She smiled and said, Actually, I've long realized that someone like Alliance leader Zhao wouldn't betray so easily. Alliance leader Zhao wants to revive the era of sections. He wants Martial King and the others to stop bullying sect martial artists. I've heard of this. Since Alliance leader Zhao isn't willing, I won't force you. However, there are some things that I think we can talk about. Let's talk about the royal court's conditions. A rank 9 divine weapon, the best kind, a true monarch's ultimate art. Although Alliance leader Zhao might not walk this true monarch's path, it has great reference value. Maybe he can find his own path and walk to the end. I don't think Alliance leader Zhao needs anything else. Conditions. Zhao Xingwu spoke. It's simple. When all the passages are open, the royal court will open up an uninhabited land in Godland. Alliance leader Zhao will be in charge. It doesn't matter if you build a city, a dynasty, or even a sect. When that time comes, Alliance leader Zhao can return to the land of rebirth and recruit his old subordinates, including other resurrected humans. He can enter Godland and open up a new place for resurrected humans to live. Zhao Xingwu frowned slightly. Why? Red Plum, true monarch, sighed softly. Martial King and the others have always been hostile toward us. The true monarch hall has explained this to them several times. Godland is not to invade the land of rebirth. If we really wanted to invade with the strength of the land of rebirth, we would have invaded the land of rebirth long ago. However, these are unnecessary sacrifices. That's why Imperial Sea Mountain is on lockdown. In reality, we're only entering the land of rebirth to find one thing: the seed of rebirth. I'm sure Alliance leader Zhao knows this. Of course, I also admit that when the time comes, we might destroy some places of survival in the land of rebirth. There might even be some deaths and injuries. This is inevitable. However, as long as you migrate to Godland, none of this will happen. Red Plum, true monarch, sighed. Unfortunately, Martial King and the others don't listen at all. They only want to be their own heroes. Ridiculous, pathetic. Everyone is being played in the palm of their hands. Are they really trying to resurrect humans? That's not necessarily true. Not only did they lock down Imperial Sea Mountain, but they also locked down the bounded domain. Martial King and the others aren't always stationed at Imperial Sea Mountain. They're active on the ground. Do you really think they're cultivating humans? They're also searching for the seed of rebirth. They locked down Imperial Sea Mountain because they don't want us to search for them. Everything is for themselves. What exactly is the seed of rebirth? Zhao Xingwu asked. Everyone was curious. Red Plum, true monarch, seemed to hesitate for a moment before she smiled. Actually, it's not a big secret. The seed of rebirth is the Demon Emperor's great Tao crystallization. When the Demon Emperor became an emperor, he condensed all the Taos in Godland and became an emperor under the unification of all Taos. However, when he became an emperor, he cut off the path of everyone else in Godland. Our path is cut off. Now, The only way is to obtain the Demon Emperor's great Tao crystallization, shatter it, and reappear the path of all Taos. Only then can we enter a higher realm and not be trapped in true monarch realm. Zhao Xingwu frowned. Emperor realm. Is Emperor realm so powerful? It can actually cut off the path of all Taos. Red Plum True Monarch smiled. That's because the Demon Emperor is very domineering. Actually, becoming an emperor doesn't have to be like this. However, the Demon Emperor doesn't want a second emperor to appear under him. Therefore, when he ruled Godland, he spent countless days to cut off all the Taos of origin. Now we're walking on the existing Taos and not new ones. Actually, the Taos are limited. There are only these Taos to begin with. It's extremely difficult to open up the new Taos. As a martial artist, I believe that Alliance leader Zhao can understand our feelings after cutting off the path of martial arts. Therefore, we must go to the land of rebirth. Why would the Demon Emperor's great Tao crystallization appear on Earth? Red Plum, True Monarch smiled faintly. I'm not too sure about this. However, rumor has it that it has something to do with some people. Some Emperor Realm experts in the land of rebirth. Of course, whether it's true or not, there's no way to investigate. However, the seed of rebirth is in the land of rebirth. This is true. There's no doubt about it. King Wu and the others are searching for the seed of rebirth so that they can enter the Emperor Realm and recreate the era of the Demon Emperor to unify the heavens. King Wu and the others are more ambitious than us. We're only looking for a breakthrough in martial arts. We've never thought about unifying the heavens. Therefore, the war between Godland and the land of rebirth was caused by King Wu and the others. Zhao Xingwu frowned. Zhang Tao isn't even 100 years old. Red Plum True Monarch smiled again. I'm just referring to one of them. King Wu is just one of them. Before this, Heavenly King Jin Wang was the representative. Netherworld King is just the spokesperson of Heavenly King Jin Wang. You guys think that Heavenly King Jin Wang is suppressing us. Little do you know, we're the ones holding him back, preventing him from returning to the land of rebirth. We're also seeking survival. Once Heavenly King Jin Wang returns to the land of rebirth, with his strength, he might be able to find the seed of rebirth quickly and even enter the Emperor Realm. Once he enters the Emperor Realm, Red Plum True Monarch sighed. That will be the doomsday of Godland and also the doomsday of your land of rebirth. Heavenly King Jin Wang's ambition is beyond imagination. Even during the era of the Demon Emperor, the two realms weren't united. Heavenly King Jin Wang's goal is even greater. He wants to unite the two realms and become the true emperor. The Dark Age will definitely come again. True monarchs will be slaves. There won't be a place like today where the monarchs rule together and ordinary humans live. Although we dominate the land, we won't kill the innocent. The people within the borders live in peace. Although it's tough, there's still a chance. However, once we enter the era of the Emperor's unification, it will be a true Dark Age. What we want is to break the crystal and continue the path of 10,000 Taos. However, Heavenly King Jin Wang wants to be like the Demon Emperor, to control 10,000 Taos and become the master of 10,000 Taos. Zhao Xingwu was silent for a long time. That's just your side of the story. Red Plum True Monarch said faintly, I disdain lying. Whether you believe it or not, it's all up to Alliance leader Zhao. However, the war between the two realms is unavoidable. We won't be willing to be enslaved by others. We must break the seed of rebirth and continue the path of 10,000 Taos. However, when that time came, someone had to step forward and let the true kings and martial artists of the land of rebirth see through the true colors of the Martial King and his group. The Martial King and the Underworld King might also be pawns. Unfortunately, they have long been bewitched and are simply unable to listen to us. Heavenly King subduing's ambition made some of the older true kings feel a sense of familiarity. Perhaps Heavenly King subduing wasn't someone from the ancient era. In other words, they are the warriors of the ancient martial arts era that you speak of. He has been in hiding since the ancient martial era, all for the sake of becoming the only emperor. Back then, The end of the sect era in the land of rebirth might also have been his doing. Zhao Xingwu's pupils constricted. Red Plum, true monarch, continued, "Don't doubt me. We even speculate that the destruction of the domain, the end of the ancient martial era, the immortal god era, and the era of the sect were all related to him. He was the one with true ambition. For such an ambitious person to remain dormant until now." Zhao Xingwu suddenly said, "According to what you said, the Heavenly King suppressing Heavenly King should have found the seed of rebirth a long time ago. When the passageway closed, he had enough time to search for it." "Huh?" Red Plum, true monarch, suddenly laughed and said, "Search? No, it's easy to say, but it's also very difficult to say. When the passageways are all closed, he won't be able to find it. That's because it's the myriad Daos of Godland. To trigger a reaction from the seed of rebirth, the only way is to open the passageway and connect the two realms. Then, the seed of rebirth will change and trigger a reaction. On the contrary, once the passageway is opened, we won't let him search for it. That's why he's in a dilemma. Only when the passageway is opened can it trigger a reaction from the seed of rebirth and make it appear. However, once it's opened, we will also take action and not let him search for it. If he doesn't open the passageway, he will never find the seed of rebirth. That's why for the past few hundred years after the passageway opened, he has been guarding Mount Royal Sea and has never left." Zhao Xingwu said again, "According to what you said, this is the catacombs' myriad Daos. What about Earth? Since Heavenly King Subduing is so powerful and has lived from the ancient martial era until now, could Earth's path to myriad Daos also be severed?" "It's severed." True monarch Red Plum laughed. "The Earth that you speak of has already severed its path. As for the exact situation, we aren't sure either. It might be related to the Demon Emperor or the war during the Demon Emperor's era. As for the specifics, no one knows anymore. God Continent's history has also been severed. It's impossible for Heavenly King Subduing to forge a new path by himself." As true monarch Red Plum said this, she looked at Zhao Xingwu and said, "Everything this monarch has said is the truth. Whether Alliance head Zhao believes it or not, it's the truth. In the past, we rarely had the chance to communicate with you. All these years, only the great sect wasn't bewitched by Heavenly King Subduing. After knowing everything, they chose to cooperate with us. However, the great sect wasn't a match for Heavenly King Subduing. In fact, they weren't even a match for Heavenly King Subduing's chess pieces, which were the Netherworld King and the Martial King. Heavenly King Subduing was very powerful. Everyone knew this, including the Hall Master. Even though he didn't want to admit it, he had to admit that the Hall Master might not be a match for Heavenly King Subduing. Moreover, on God Continent's side, some true monarchs weren't willing to take the risk and could only allow Heavenly King Subduing to do as he pleased. This is also to let Alliance head Zhao understand that God Continent, True Monarch Hall, and Royal Court have no intention of invading. We are only seeking survival, just like Alliance head Zhao today." Zhao Xingwu laughed at himself. After a long time, he said, "That means you are the victims? You are the ones who were forced and had no choice but to invade Earth. Everything was for self-preservation? What a joke." True Monarch Red Plum said faintly, "Perhaps. You might think it's a joke, but that might not be the case. You all believe that we were the ones who invaded you. Didn't all of this come from Star Town? With the appearance of Star Town's era, your new martial era came into being. The founder of the new martial era was also the true monarch of Star Town. In these hundreds of years, it was actually Heavenly King Subduing who led this era. Without Heavenly King Subduing, do you think that King Gu and King Wang could have started the new martial era?" Zhao Xingwu was momentarily speechless. Suddenly, he said, "What about the other 5 sacred grounds?" "Them?" True Monarch Red Plum sneered. "Some of them pretended to be ignorant, but in fact, they also had the intention of becoming the only emperor. Some of them were completely clueless, just like you. Some of them were even planted by Heavenly King Subduing. In the 6 sacred grounds of Land of Rebirth, there are dozens of true monarch powerhouses, but the oldest is Heavenly King Subduing. You may not know, But the first true monarch to appear in Imperial Sea Hill was Heavenly King Subduing. Back then, before we realized the passage was open, Heavenly King Subduing was already active in Imperial Sea Hill and the Bounded Domain. Some of the powerhouses from the other 5 sacred grounds appeared in the later stages. Heavenly King Subduing first appeared in Imperial Sea Hill, probably more than 700 years ago. The second true monarch to appear was Ancient Buddha Yao Guang of the Ancient Buddha Sacred Ground. Can you guess how many years ago Ancient Buddha Yao Guang appeared? 380 years ago. At that time, Ancient Buddha Yao Guang only appeared in Imperial Sea Hill. There was a gap of hundreds of years in between. Of course, during that period, the Temple Master and Heavenly King Subduing were already confronting each other. Confusion flashed across Zhao Xingwu's eyes. He said softly, 700 years ago. 700 years ago, the entrance to the West Mountain Catacombs appeared, which is also what you call the 17 Southern Territories. You're saying that Heaven Subduing King was already active in Mount Royal Sea at that time. Doesn't that mean that he's been around since the first catacombs opened? And at that time, was he already in a desperate situation? Yes, and he'd already taken the second path at that time. Of course, he wasn't as strong as he is today. Zhao Xingwu had a complicated look in his eyes as he said, from the beginning to the end, it was all part of Heavenly King Jin's plan? Was he the one who opened the passage? Is it because he wants to revive the seed of rebirth, wield the myriad Tao, and become the only emperor of the 2 realms? Not bad. Ridiculous. Zhao Xingwu didn't know who he was talking about. It was as if he was talking about the Red Plum True Monarch or the Heavenly King Jin. After a long time, Zhao Xingwu exhaled and said, "You gave me a 9th grade divine weapon and a true king's ultimate art just to let me migrate humans to the Forbidden Zone to survive when the war starts in the future? So simple? Or do you think I'm stupid? Would you care about the life and death of humans? Don't make yourself sound like a saint. If you could, would you care about the lives of these ants? If there are deaths in order to find the seed of rebirth, I don't think you would care about the lives of these people. You don't even care about the lives of your own people. King Huai gave up on the tens of millions of people in the 18 Southern Territories just like that. Why would you care about this?" Red Plum Monarch chuckled. "You don't understand. The seed of rebirth. Actually, it's hard for us to say what it is. Maybe it's a stone, maybe it's a flower, maybe it's a tree. Maybe it's the martial Tao of countless people, a will of countless people, a path. Therefore, we can't kill the resurrected humans wantonly. We need them to exist in the Forbidden Zone. Maybe the resurrected humans and the humans of God's land can live together in the Forbidden Zone, cultivate together, and survive together. Only then will the myriad Tao path be open for the true king. This possibility exists, and it's very high. Therefore, when that time comes, we need a prestigious and powerful expert to lead and guide all of this. What about the Great Sect Master?" "The Great Sect Master," Red Plum Monarch chuckled. "Although the Great Sect Master is working with us, he might not be like you and truly care about the humans. Even if this envoy is here, I don't mind telling him. When that time comes, it's hard to say what the Great Sect Master will choose. Of course, the Great Sect Master might have the same thoughts as you. If that's the case, the 2 of you can join forces to guide everything better and avoid unnecessary trouble." Zhao Xingwu closed his eyes and muttered to himself. After a while, he said, "Aren't you afraid that I'll reach the pinnacle and turn against you at the crucial moment? Perhaps I don't believe you at all. I'm just brushing you off." Red Plum Monarch chuckled. "When that time comes, it's actually nothing much. Could a true monarch really change anything? There are 49 true kings in Tianji Royal Court's True King Hall. What we lack are experts like the Hall Master and Heavenly King suppressing Heavenly King. Ordinary true kings are strong, but they won't be able to change the situation. Alliance Master Zhao might become a true king, but to say that you can become an expert that can rival the Hall Master and Heavenly King suppressing Heavenly King in a short period of time, this king doesn't believe it, and no one will believe it. Since that's the case, it doesn't matter whether Alliance Master Zhao believes it or not. When that day comes, Alliance Master Zhao will naturally know how to choose. He will know who is right and who is wrong. In these days, Alliance Master Zhao will look around Tianji City and understand some information about the royal court. Alliance Master Zhao will discover that everything King Wu and the others say is a lie. Lies will be exposed in the end. When Heavenly King, suppressing Heavenly King, reveals his true colors, Alliance Master Zhao will probably know what to do even without us saying it. It doesn't matter if you have humanity in your heart or if you're dignified. If you have humanity in your heart, you'll agree to cooperate. If you're dignified, selfish, and afraid of death, you'll do it. Alliance Master Zhao, this king should be clear enough. Zhao Xingwu laughed self-deprecatingly and sighed. I understand. It seems that I've overestimated myself. The Forbidden Zone doesn't care about my strength alone. You can't say that. If Alliance Master Zhao really wants to become a true king, it's also very important. True Monarch Red Plum laughed lightly. Perhaps we'll become comrades the next day and appear on the battlefield together to kill the culprit, the ambitious Heavenly King suppressing Heavenly King. Zhao Xingwu didn't say anything. True Monarch Red Plum didn't mind. She stood up and said, Lu Yun, entertain Alliance Master Zhao and Elder He Chuan. King Lord will talk to them later. This king will leave first. Farewell, Your Excellency. The handsome youth had a respectful expression as he watched True Monarch Red Plum leave. In the hall, Zhao Xingwu was still silent for a long time. Please remember this book's domain name, Nine Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version website. Chapter 711. Fong Ping could not interfere with the Apex's affairs. Fong Ping could not interfere with the Apex's arrangements either. Fong Ping might be doing very well now, but strength was the foundation. Without strength, everything else was meaningless. Without strength, he would be wanted by the catacombs. Without strength, only the evil sect martial artists would dare to kill him. If he had strength like Zhang Tao, forget about the true king's ultimate art, no one would dare to attack him. Fong Ping was a bystander in the battle against the evil sect. He could not even compare to Qin Yaoding and the other commanders of the Fallen Star Army and Wuan Army. It was not that he was not as good as them, but he was not strong enough. The others were targeting him. If he joined the battle, it would be more dangerous. Therefore, Fong Ping became a bystander. He could only watch helplessly as the others fought. He could only watch helplessly as a legion commander of the Fallen Star Army fell in front of him. All of this made Fong Ping very frustrated. Since he started practicing martial arts, other than the time when he fought and killed to his heart's content in the King Battleground, the rest of the time, he was miserable. Running, digging holes, asking powerhouses for help. In short, he was hunted down all the way to rank 8. In the underground mineral vein, Fong Ping cursed in his heart as he thought about it. I'm a rank 8. Why am I so miserable? I didn't do anything. Why is everyone watching me? I was wronged in the Xuanda Grotto Heaven battle. Feng Jiuqing was obviously killed by Chen Yaozu and the others. Motherf Astris Kerr, when Ning died, he called out his name. Did he dig up his ancestral grave? Ji Yao was the same. He did not kill her. Did she have to keep watching him? She even made the Monster Royal Court list him as a wanted man. There was no need to even mention the Huai King. Fong Ping felt that he was really unlucky. Who knew that this old thing had made a bet with old Zhang? He had lost the bet, and now he was blaming himself. Was such a person worthy of being a real king? That was it. He even took the blame for unquestionable Jian, the Devil Emperor, who had been dead for God knows how long. Was there any justice in this world? Motherf Astris Kerr, is it my fault that I'm called the Devil King? Wasn't this given by the Martial Arts Association? I said I wanted to be called the Celestial Emperor. How can this be blamed on me? The more Fong Ping thought about it, the more indignant he became. This was too much. Just because of a title, he became a demon emperor? He was indignant. When he saw that his wealth had been depleted, he became even more indignant. Spending money too fast. In the past few days, in order to familiarize himself with his rank 8 powers and hone his brain core, he had expended quite a lot of wealth. Not only that, when the House of Gold was broken, Fong Ping had no choice but to continue repairing it, which cost him a lot of money. If this went on, he would really go bankrupt. Wealth, 28 million points vitality, 60,000 calories, 63,500 calories, mentality. 155 Hertz, 3,299 Hertz, power of destruction. 23 yuan, bones honed. 206, 100%, storage space. 1,000 cubic meters plus, energy barrier. 1 point/minute plus, aura simulation. 10 per minute plus, that's all? Sigh. Fong Ping sighed. He looked at the brain nucleus that had materialized in front of him, feeling helpless. The growth of his mental power had slowed down. It was not as fast as before. The honing of the brain nucleus could still increase his mentality quickly in the beginning, but after a long time, the effect was not as obvious. Fong Ping's mentality had increased by almost 1,000 Hertz from 2,000 Hertz. It had only been a few days, and the speed was shocking. Now, however, his mentality was still more than 3,000 Hertz. Fong Ping's mentality was actually not as good as a normal rank 8 martial artist. A normal rank 8 martial artist like Lu Polu, who had just achieved a breakthrough, now had a mentality of 4,000 Hertz. A rank 8 martial artist mentality could be as low as 4,000 Hertz, and as high as 5 or 6,000 Hertz. Fong Ping, on the other hand, was probably a rank 8 with the weakest mentality. My brain nucleus is still not strong enough. My physique is actually strong enough, but my brain nucleus is not strong enough. The system doesn't even have a mandatory plus sign. This means that forcefully increasing it might cause my brain nucleus to shatter. My brain core isn't sturdy enough. If I want it to be sturdier, I can only use my strength to temper it, using imperishable substances to temper it. But I'm in a hurry to succeed, so I can only expend more strength, which means more wealth. Fong Ping realized that he had entered an endless loop. The less wealth he had, the slower his improvement. When his wealth was high, he would have to go to the catacombs. If he went to the catacombs, he would not have enough time to control his strength. At the end of the day, I still don't have enough time. Fong Ping sighed again. A ball of vitality appeared in his hand, and he began to strip it. This was the method that Old Manly had taught him. Martial arts cultivation, strength control. There was no other way. Practice makes perfect. A martial artist's vitality was measured in units of cal. It did not come about for no reason. Vitality. Every unit of vitality was like a cell. It was actually an independent existence. Of course, it was extremely difficult to distinguish. Old Manly told Fong Ping that when Fong Ping could strip the most basic unit of vitality, a unit of vitality, his control of strength would reach an extremely subtle level. At this time, Fong Ping's understanding of vitality and strength control would enter a whole new world. Old Manly could do it. This was thanks to his leisure time. After 10 years of idleness, the old man had nothing to do, so he stripped himself bit by bit for fun. He had dismantled his muscles, bones, and skin many times. Stripping vitality force, Fong Ping did not know if others had done it before. But among the people he knew, only Old Man Li had done it. Strength, in everyone's eyes, was a whole entity. Vitality, on the other hand, was a whole entity. It was only now that Fong Ping knew that vitality force was actually made up of countless small units of strength. Of course, he could still feel it. The increase of vitality in units of cal and mentality in units of hertz were all proof. Fong Ping should have realized this more than the average person, because he clearly knew what a unit of vitality was. Fong Ping was currently feeling it carefully. He did not know how strong the vitality force in his hand was. It was about 100 units of strength. Fong Ping tried to let the system recover a unit of strength. At this time, a slight change appeared. It was very weak. For Fong Ping, whose vitality had reached more than 60,000 units, the strength of a unit of strength was too little. It was so little that it was almost negligible. If the increase was so weak, it would be even more difficult to strip out this unit of strength. The small ball of vitality force in Fong Ping's hand was slowly dissected by Fong Ping. After dissecting it into more than 10 units, bang, his blood and qi exploded. This won't do. Fong Ping looked helpless. He did not have enough control over his strength. He could not clearly control the strength that was too weak. His own strength was as high as more than 60,000 units. When the vitality ball was dissected to about 10 calories, he could not control it anymore, and the vitality force self-destructed. Old Man Lee can dissect a basic unit. Compared to me now, the difference in strength control is more than 10 times. Fong Ping could not help but admire Old Man Lee. Little did he know that Old Man Lee was talking about when he was rank 6. At that time, his vitality was less than 10,000 units. Today, Old Man Lee had just completed the 5th refinement of Golden Body and entered the 6th refinement. His vitality was more than 90,000 units. Actually, only Fong Ping was slightly better. He had dissected it into about 4 to 5 units of vitality ball. Old Man Lee, who had already entered the Magic City catacombs, was now dissecting his vitality frantically, afraid that Fong Ping would overtake him. The old man only had this bit of confidence now. Fong Ping, this kid, cultivated too fast. Who knew if he would surpass him in rank one day? He had to be able to dissect more than 90,000 units of vitality into more than 90,000 units. Then he would have to achieve 100% control over his strength. Even if Fong Ping was stronger than him, he might not be his match. Of course, in front of Fong Ping, Old Man Lee would not say that he could not do it now. Instead, he would proudly tell Fong Ping that he could even dissect 1 unit of vitality. Fong Ping believed him. Yes, Fong Ping, who had always fooled others, was fooled by Old Lee this time. It cannot be helped. Old Lee's performance was very monstrous. Fong Ping had always thought that Old Man Lee, a rank 6, could not kill a rank 8. Therefore, in this era, the most monstrous genius was still Old Man Lee. Perhaps the Old Man Lee before he was injured was not as monstrous as he was now. However, after being injured for 10 years and lying low for 10 years, Old Man Lee had transformed and become a true peerless prodigy, constantly killing people above his rank. Fong Ping had also killed people above his rank before, but he was not as good as Old Man Lee. Therefore, he really believed what Old Man Lee said. At this moment, Fong Ping was constantly dissecting his strength. This kind of extremely subtle control of strength required a lot of energy and also a lot of vitality. However, this was nothing to Fong Ping. He could recover his mentality and vitality force in the blink of an eye. Fong Ping even tried to exhaust his vitality force and then slowly increase it bit by bit to experience this feeling. And this method was something that only he could do. Other martial artists could not bear to do this. With more than 60,000 cal of vitality, at rank 8, even if one's own recovery ability was strong, after exhausting one's vitality, without energy stones to replenish the consumption, it would take a few days to fully recover with the little energy on Earth. They say that only battles can increase one's control of strength. In fact, battles are just exhausting vitality, allowing people to experience a subtle recovery process of strength. I don't have much experience because I recover extremely fast, and it happens in an instant. Therefore, maybe the others have realized it, but I'm the only one who has never felt this. Fong Ping knew why he could not even compare to Qin Fengqing and the others. Old Wang and the others were actually slightly better than him, because these fellows would slowly recover to experience. But he did not have this kind of experience. He would completely recover in an instant. The drawback of the system was finally exposed this time. Relying too much on the system's recovery ability had also caused Fong Ping to miss many opportunities. The control of strength is actually a kind of subtle splitting of strength. And the outburst of strength, the ultimate skills, and other combat techniques are all a kind of recombination of strength. Fong Ping muttered to himself. Many martial artists started to create their own combat techniques when they reached the middle ranks. Fong Ping had never thought about this because he did not know how, and it was very difficult to do. Previously, he thought that it was because he had advanced too quickly and his knowledge could not keep up. Now he realized that was not the case. It was because he did not have a deep control of strength and did not understand the essence of strength. Combat techniques were actually a kind of reorganization of one's own strength. First split, then recombine and recombine into a way that was most suitable for oneself. That was a combat technique that was suitable for oneself. split more than 60,000 cal of vitality into more than 60,000 basic strength units, and then rearranged these basic units, arranging them in a combat strength that was suitable for him, and using them. That was a combat technique. Old Man Li is so unreliable. You only told me now. Fong Ping was very resentful toward Old Man Li. So he had only mastered the essence of strength and the essence of combat techniques when he reached rank 8. How embarrassing. He was embarrassed to tell others about this. Old Man Li did not know either. If he knew, he would definitely be dumbfounded. Did he need to teach him about this? He felt that as a martial artist, especially a prodigy martial artist, he should be able to feel it. Not a prodigy martial artist. Actually, Old Man Li wanted to tell Fong Ping that martial arts universities had courses in this area. However, a certain someone had almost never been to a class in more than 2 years of school. Old Man Li had forgotten about this. The others, including Qin Fengqing and the others, had actually been learning about this before they reached rank 3. Even if the books did not explain it in depth, when they reached a certain level, they could also feel it. That was why some of the things that Old Man Li and the others considered to be basic knowledge were not told to Fong Ping. Because everyone thought that he understood, not just a few people, but everyone. However, Fong Ping really did not understand. If he knew about this, Fong Ping would definitely curse out loud. I didn't learn martial arts from a young age. My family doesn't even have a martial artist, not even a rank 1. I came from a small county town, and I've only practiced martial arts for a little more than 2 years. Now that I've reached rank 8, how could I have so many feelings? People like Qin Yinshi probably understood. They had been exposed to martial arts since they were young. Old Wang probably understood too, because he was serious about learning from Fong Ping. Before Fong Ping's emergence, these people were not as reckless as they were now, and they still had a lot of time to learn. Ironhead also understood. This guy was an honest kid, and he even taught students. He was the one who taught Han Su and Ling Yi. As for Qin Fengqing, this idiot knew 100%. Because he was a straight-A student, he read books and looked for information every day, wanting to know how to not be affected by his aptitude, and how to maximize his pitiful once-honed strength. Because once honed, in the 3 lower ranks, including the 3 middle ranks, their vitality was not as good as those twice-honed martial artists. Only when one reached peak rank 5, when the 5 viscera and 6 bowels, including the bones, were almost completely honed, would the gap be closed, and when they achieved mentality-vitality fusion, they would enter the era of 10,000 cal vitality. With Qin Fengqing's personality, his vitality was weaker than others. How could he not learn these things and deepen his control over his strength? Only Fong Ping did not care about these things. Because he had improved too quickly, and his vitality and mentality were infinite, he did not feel much. Breaking down vitality to a basic unit of 1 calorie means that my control over my strength has reached 100%. Breaking it down to 10 calories, my control is not even 50%. Fong Ping calculated for a while, and that should be it. 50% was already overestimating himself. He had more than 60,000 cal of vitality. Could he unleash more than 30,000 cal and kill someone in one move? Even if he did, there was still a difference between 30,000 cal and 30,000 cal. Old Man Li and the others rearranged their own strength. A vitality of 30,000 cal could explode with a vitality power of 50,000 cal. Fong Ping. That was 30,000 cal, so it was really 30,000 cal. This was comparable to the gap between the origin path. I still have to continue splitting it up. Fortunately, I have an idea now. I don't have to foolishly hack at it like before. But in the past, when I went to hack for 7 days, why didn't anyone remind me? Fong Ping criticized in his heart. Little did he know that everyone thought he was practicing combat techniques. Slashing and practicing combat techniques was also very necessary. Practice makes perfect. Fong Ping's slashing was not considered a wrong cultivation method. Because of this, of course, no one would remind him. I have to break it down to below 10 calories strength composition as soon as possible. At this time, every time I reduce the gap by 1 cal, my understanding of the true meaning of strength will increase by 3 points. Fong Ping carefully dissected the force. He had only dissected it halfway when it exploded again with a bang. This time, Fong Ping had a target to vent his anger on. He looked at Li Han Song, who was walking toward him, and scolded, "Ironhead, you're too full of yourself, aren't you? You didn't even knock on the door?" Li Han Song was dumbfounded. He turned around and looked. "No door? You're just cultivating in the mining area. There's no cultivation room. Where's the door? Besides, I'm such a big, living person. I didn't even conceal my aura. You're a rank 8 powerhouse. How could you not sense it?" As Fong Ping said that, he glanced at him and raised his eyebrows slightly. "Middle stage rank, 7 already? Aha! Not bad. Continue working hard and strive to achieve upper stage rank 7 as soon as possible. By then, maybe you'll achieve rank 8 directly. I'll leave the weakest rank 8 for you." Fong Ping mumbled to himself. 108, he said he was the weakest. Forget it. I admit it. However, this fellow Ironhead had entered rank 8. His mentality was also weak. He might even be ranked even lower than himself. It was good to have someone at the bottom. Li Han Song did not care about this. He said, "The minister sent someone to send 500 caddies of rank 9 energy stones. He said it's your compensation." "How much?" "500 caddies." Fong Ping's expression was dark. He gritted his teeth and asked, "Where is he?" "He didn't come. He asked Commander Baigong to send it. Commander Baigong sent it, and he left." "He left?" Fong Ping said exasperatedly. 500 caddies of rank 9 energy stones. How much is that? 150 billion. It's not even enough to fill the gaps between my teeth. So it's just this little? I was looking forward to getting 3 to 5 trillion. In the end, it's only 150 billion. Li Han Song scratched his head. "That's a lot, isn't it? 500 caddies, and it's still rank 9. Fong Ping, sometimes you get nothing when you kill a rank 9. Senior Warlord killed a true king and didn't get anything. 150 billion is considered a lot, isn't it?" Li Han Song thought it was really a lot. 500 caddies of rank 9 energy stones. In the past, he would be stunned when he saw it. Forget 500 caddies. When he was in the middle ranks, he would be stunned when he got 5 caddies. Back then, when Fong Ping invited them to fight those fellows in Star City, the reward he gave Old Wong and the rest was 1 caddy of energy stones. At that time, energy stones cost 1 million per gram, 500 million per caddy. Old Wong and the rest were impressed by Fong Ping's wealth. He was a local tycoon. At that time, it was April. It was not long. 1 caddy of energy stones. Everyone thought it was a big profit. It was worth it even if they were beaten to death. In the end, in the blink of an eye, Old Zhang sent 500 caddies. Even Fong Ping despised it. Fong Ping despised it indeed. 150 billion. That was not 150 billion wealth points. It was only 15 million points, okay. His wealth points had dropped below 30 million points. Even if he got these 15 million points, it would not be 50 million points. This was too much of a loss. After cursing for a while, Fong Ping thought for a while. He took out his phone and was about to call Old Zhang. Old Zhang must have embezzled 9 high elders, excluding Zali Koro and Lin Long. There were still 7 of them. The Andes Mountains and the ancient Buddha Holy Land were all involved. With Old Zhang's temperament, extorting a few big holy lands would not be this small. He was a desperation realm martial artist. The transportation fee to the peak would not be so little, right? Speaking of transportation fee, Fong Ping's call connected quickly. Zhang Tao said happily, "I got a total of 1,000 caddies of energy stones. Don't think it's too little. It's really a lot." Moreover, they refused to admit it. They said that Varna and the others were not evil sect elders. They only got them by force because of my strong martial strength. As for the few independent martial artists, they're all poor. The other evil sect's old lairs have some rank 1 and rank 2 vitality pills. Do you want them? In total, it's less than 10 billion in resources. I didn't take them. I left them for the martial artists who surrounded and annihilated the evil sect, giving them some spoils of war. I got the 1,000 caddies because of my martial strength. Is it too much for me to take 200 caddies? Fong Ping gritted his teeth. Not at all. There's still 800 caddies. Li Jun said that you didn't kill 5th Elder and wasted his avatar. He was very upset and thought that you did it on purpose. My avatar killed a rank 9, but he didn't. That's why I snatched your 200 caddies. I couldn't do anything to him. Am I right? Fong Ping gritted his teeth. Yes, you're no match for him. After all, you're second and he's first. I understand. Zhang Tao. Fong Ping continued. Then there's still 600 caddies. The remaining 100 caddies. Nan Yunyue said that Li Jun snatched them all. If she didn't, people would misunderstand that she's not a peak. So, she snatched the 100 caddies too. Fong Ping was so angry that he almost vomited blood. He said impatiently, Minister, I'm almost out of money to cultivate. My cultivation has been stagnant recently. At this time, you guys are still snatching from me. Aren't you embarrassed? We agreed that after we kill those rank 9s, everything will be mine. You said that we'd split it 30 to 70. Logically, 300 caddies should be enough for you. I'm considered generous. In the end, I even left half for you. I thought the harvest would be 10 trillion. You got so little stuff Forget it. I'm too lazy to say anything else. You went to a few holy lands and got 1,000 caddies of energy stones. If you told me earlier that you were so short of money and so shameless, I wouldn't have let you go and embarrass yourself. A dignified martial king personally appeared and got 1,000 caddies of energy stones. Are you trying to dismiss a beggar? Did a few holy lands fool you just like that? Minister Wang and the rest came to help me. I gave them 1,500 caddies of energy stones in total. Just this alone makes me feel ashamed. I think I'm stingy enough. I don't have money now, so I gave them less. When I have money in the future, I'll definitely make up for it. Minister Wang and the rest are only rank 8, right? What about you? Martial King, known as invincible. Even subduing Heavenly King dares to fight. In the end, I went to a few holy lands and they gave me 1,000 caddies. Each family might only have 200 to 300 caddies. The 2 words Martial King are worth more than that. Forget it. I won't talk about it. I'm not the one who's embarrassed anyway. If it were me, I'd smash these energy stones on their faces on the spot. Are they looking down on me? Hey, Minister, I'm hanging up. Don't be angry. Have a good rest. Fong Ping hung up the phone instantly. He snorted in his heart. Forget it. It's only 500 caddies. Forget it. I don't like it. I'll just casually go down to the catacombs. It's better than wasting my breath on you. As for Li Jun and Nan Yunyue, he remembered these 2 martial kings in his heart this time. In the past, it was only old Zhang who did this shameless thing. Now, these 2 were following suit. Could it be that martial artists were ready to be shameless when they reached a desperate situation? On my desperate day, when you'll all cry, Fong Ping made up his mind. Wait and see. Maybe I don't have to be martial king. I'll also have a vitality of 1,000,000 cow and hammer you to death. At the same time, capital city, Zhang Tao was a little dazed. Yes, am I a martial king so shameless? A few holy lands only gave me 1,000 caddies of energy stones. I thought it was quite a lot before. However, after what Fong Ping said, Wang Qinghai and the rest could earn 1,500 caddies just by running errands. I went to a few holy lands and this is all I got? They're going too far. 1,000 caddies. A few old things. Do they think I, a martial king, am easy to bully? Next door in another office, Wang Qinghai's head hurt. What was wrong with him? Was he talking about energy stones? 1,000 caddies. Was it too little? What was wrong with the minister? When he came back, he was still in high spirits. He got 1,000 caddies, ran errands, and earned a lot. Why did he feel that others were looking down on him now? Crazy. Wang Qinghai cursed in his heart. Did they really think that rank 9 energy stones were cabbages? I remember that in the past, the minister would be all smiles for 1 caddy of energy stones. What's going on now? Sino Nation's martial arts culture seems to have changed a little. Weren't energy stones measured in grams in the past? Old Wang pondered for a while. When did this change in culture start? Right. It started from the Battle of Tian'an. That day, Fong Ping used caddies to measure life essence, shocking everyone. From then on, the unit of caddies was considered to have stepped onto the stage. In the past, we used to use grams, Okay. P.S. Let me explain. I think what I wrote was quite clear. Maybe the change in names made everyone confused. Monster plants, demon life, royal court, not demons. It's humans, catacombs humans, they're all humans. Guardian royal court and 10,000 demon royal court are demons. Guardian royal court demons are the kind of domestic demons, such as rank 9 monster plants and monsters. 10,000 demon royal court demons are wild demons, the kind of demon that has become a forbidden land in the outer realm. Recently, I've discovered that a lot of book friends are talking about this. Let me explain. Maybe it's my fault, maybe it's your fault. No matter who it is, it's ruined now. I'm still missing a basic update. I'll update it as soon as possible in the next few days. Chapter 7:12. For the next few days, Fong Ping was splitting his vitality. It had to be said that splitting his vitality improved his control over his strength significantly, especially for martial artists like Fong Ping, who had never practiced fine control before. After trying this method for the first time for a few days, he realized that his control over his strength had improved a lot. Fong Ping's closed-door cultivation this time was not focused on elevating his realm. This was probably the first time in more than 2 years that Fong Ping seriously tried to improve his control over his strength. In the past, Fong Ping had always thought that elevating his realm was the most important. The suppression of realms was enough to offset a martial artist's lack of strength control. But now, Fong Ping had a new feeling. With the elevation of realms, unless there was a huge gap, would a normal rank 9 be a match for Li Chongsheng? The rank 8 Li Chongsheng was comparable to a powerhouse in the origin path. This was proof. Although it was related to the unification of 10,000 Daos. Even if the unification of 10,000 Daos did not have enough strength control, he would not be as strong as Old Man Li. If he was not strong in the same realm, what could he do even if he was at the peak? Old Zhang was strong. Li Jun was strong. That was why the effect of these desperation realms on the battlefield was much greater than the average peak. 1 against 2, 1 against 3, they even had the combat power to kill a true king. Such a powerhouse was the existence that deterred the catacombs. Battle King, Martial King, and Hell King. These 3 desperation realms could even fight 6 or 7 true king powerhouses. Including a top powerhouse like subduing Heavenly King, the 4 of them could block 10 true king powerhouses. This was the crushing advantage of same-rank combat strength. Since he could not enter the Emperor realm, the crushing advantage of realms did not exist. It was necessary to become an invincible powerhouse in the same rank. Fong Ping had been in closed-door cultivation from the 11th all the way until the 25th. Only then did he emerge from the underground. Half a month. In this half a month, he could already split his vitality to about 5 calories. The speed was extremely fast because he did not sleep or rest to try. If a normal martial artist wanted to complete this kind of subtle strength control in half a month, their mentality would have long been depleted. My strength control is about 60% now. It's not bad. From 10 calories to 5 calories, there was only so much improvement. The more finely he split, the higher his control. When he split his vitality to 4 calories and could maintain it for a long time, Fong Ping could reach at least about 70% control. 4 calories was Li Chongsheng's previous level. When Old Man Li reached rank 8, he advanced quickly and did not have much time to adapt. His control over his own strength was actually not as good as before. However, he had that kind of experience. Now that he had settled down and slowly mastered it, he should be able to improve in no time. This was something that Fong Ping could not compare to at the moment. The division of strength not only improved Fong Ping's control, but it also made Fong Ping's use of combat technique smoother. Zhang Tao and the others had created this combat technique for Fong Ping. Initially, in Fong Ping's eyes, Zhang Tao and the others had only provided him with an idea. Using the Golden House to trap the enemy within a small space, he would use his powerful physical strength and vital energy to kill the enemy. Rather than calling it a battle technique, it would be more accurate to call it a method to deal with the enemy. Now, Fong Ping realized the error in his understanding. The combat techniques created by Zhang Tao and the others were not what he understood them to be. The real battle technique was in some moves that he had neglected before, some explosive means of strength. Actually, they were just some small moves used in close combat. This was actually a kind of strength reorganization, which allowed Fang Ping to explode with more powerful strength. Before this, Fang Ping really did not pay much attention to this. Actually, old Zhang and the others provided me with a variety of strength reorganization plans, which meant that I would try to arrange the strength combinations and see which combination would make my explosive power stronger. Before this, I was always focused on the golden house, so I didn't think about it. The combination of power wasn't something to be messed with. If they were random, they would lose control of the strength and even conflict with the body. If the 10,000 calories vitality was not combined correctly, half of the body would be consumed, and it might only be able to explode with 5,000 calories destructive power. If the combination was right and suitable for Fang Ping, the 10,000 calories might explode with damage of 12,000 calories vitality. Fang Ping, who had reached rank 8, had a clear understanding of strength for the first time. Walking out from underground, Fang Ping inhaled a breath of fresh air and checked his stats again. Wealth, 41 million points vitality, 62,000 calories, 64,000 calories. Mentality, 3,210 hertz, 3,355 hertz. Destructive force, 24 yuan, 24 yuan. Bones honed, 206 bones, 100%. Storage space, 1,000 cubic meters plus. Energy shield, 1 point/minute plus. Aura simulation, 10 point/minute plus. In this half a month, his vitality did not increase much, and so did his mentality. However, his combat strength had definitely increased by a large margin. The control of vitality strength was also the control of overall strength. In the past, if Fang Ping could unleash 50% of his own strength, he could only unleash 12 yuans of destruction power. 1 yuans of vitality power was equivalent to 5,000 calories vitality force, so he could unleash 60,000 calories vitality damage. Now, Fang Ping could explode with close to 15 yuan of destructive force, which was 75,000 calories vitality damage. This was the limit that Fang Ping could reach. If he had a better grasp of combat techniques, he might eventually reach 80,000 calories vitality damage. Normal high-ranked martial artists use celestiality to fight. 1 LUN of celestiality was equivalent to 500 calories vitality strength, so he would need more than 160 LUN of celestiality to be able to match Fang Ping. The power of heaven and earth was related to one's mental strength. 160 LUN of celestiality was equivalent to the consumption of 1,600 hertz mentality. Merging mentality into vitality force and converting it into celestiality required time and a higher level of control. Generally, only middle-stage rank 8 powerhouses could achieve 160 LUN celestiality outburst. In other words, the current Fang Ping truly possessed the combat strength of a middle-stage rank 8. His combat strength was between rank 8 3rd level and 5th level, depending on how well these powerhouses could control their strength. Destructive force can avoid the flaw of insufficient mentality. Now I'm starting to understand why there are different paths for ancient martial artists. Fang Ping also had an understanding of the ancient martial artist's martial arts path. In the past, he had a rough understanding of it. Now, Fang Ping understood. Powerhouses who walk the path of the physique actually use destructive force as a means of combat to avoid the flaw of insufficient mentality. Powerhouses who walk the path of mentality might turn to celestiality for combat because their physiques were not strong enough. If that's the case, destructive force might be a form of combat strength used by physique martial artists. Martial artists with strong mentality might use celestiality for combat. As for Old Man Li, he used vitality force in the truest sense of the word. That was why his explosive power was stronger, but because of that, his vitality was not sufficient. That was why Old Man Li was only suitable for quick battles. Martial artists who use celestiality for the same 100,000 calories vitality outburst only needed to have 2,000 hertz mentality and 20,000 calories vitality force. Martial artists who use destructive force only needed to have 20 units of destructive force outburst. As for Old Man Lee, his vitality strength was twice that of a normal person, so he needed to have 50,000 calories vitality force outburst. Under such circumstances, if Old Man Lee fought a protracted battle, he would not be able to outlast his opponent. That was why he could only end the battle quickly, using absolute destructive power to crush his opponent. No wonder people called him one-sword hero. They really did call him from the middle ranks to the high ranks. Fong Ping could not help but laugh in his heart. He had also discovered some flaws in infinite unification. As expected, the martial arts path would not be so biased. Infinite unification was strong, but it was not so strong that it was invincible. Old Man Lee was invincible, but that was because of his strong control and explosive power, not because of infinite unification. Fong Ping felt that he had gained a lot from this closed-door cultivation. He had thoroughly sorted out all kinds of problems on the martial arts path. Otherwise, according to his previous muddleheadedness, when he reached rank 9, Fong Ping might not be able to walk out of his own path. A martial artist who did not have a clear understanding of martial arts still wanted to walk out of his own path. It was a fool's dream. In the Crystal Tower, in the hall on the first floor, the tables and chairs that Fong Ping had brought back from the land of boundaries were placed. They shone with golden light. If an ordinary person saw this, they might think that it was the style of a nouveau riche, that these things were built with gold. If an expert saw it, they would only feel shocked. Furniture ornaments made from the torso of a rank 8 monster plant. This was not just a problem of being a nouveau riche, the key was that he was strong. If he was not strong, how could he kill a rank 8 monster plant? In the hall, Chen Yunqi was talking to Bai Ruoxi. When she saw Fong Ping coming out from underground, Chen Yunqi hurriedly said, "Fong Ping, teacher is looking for you." Although Chen Yunqi was Lu Fengru's student now, her first instructor in MCMU was still Bai Ruoxi. She was also closer to Bai Ruoxi. Lu Fengru actually did not care much about her. Back then, when Bai Ruoxi was injured, she entrusted Chen Yunqi to her. After Bai Ruoxi returned, Lu Fengru did not really treat herself as Chen Yunqi's teacher. Therefore, nowadays, when Chen Yunqi's teacher was mentioned, most people would refer to her as Bai Ruoxi. Fong Ping heard that and smiled. "Teacher Bai, please sit down. Did Fong Yuan cause trouble for you again?" "No, Fong Yuan is quite good." Bai Ruoxi smiled. Previously, when she made the decision to let Fong Yuan do the mission, Fong Ping did not treat her well. However, the last time Fong Yuan stood under Fong Ping's tower for 9 days and 9 nights, after that, Fong Ping did not care about these things anymore. Fong Ping greeted them as he sat down. He looked at Chen Yunqi and said, "I remember that I still have some life essence. Use the leaves of the Tianmen tree to make some tea. Since teacher is here, wouldn't it be too shabby to serve her with ordinary tea?" Bai Ruoxi did not know whether to laugh or cry. She watched as Chen Yunqi ran off to make tea and shook her head helplessly. After she left, she laughed and said, "That's too extravagant. In the entire martial arts world, you're probably the only one who would do this." Fong Ping chuckled. "This is the only fun I have. It makes people think that I'm extravagant and rich. Otherwise, I'd really be walking at night in luxurious clothes." Snatching some resources in the catacombs can be said to be difficult, but it can also be said to be simple. I have to enjoy some of it myself. Otherwise, wouldn't my efforts be in vain? Bai Ruoxi laughed again and said softly, "What do you plan to do with Yunqi? She's almost treating this place as her home now. Right now, there are 3 points and 1 line: the Martial Arts Society, the Grandmaster Tower, and the Catacombs. You've also reached rank 8, and Yunqi is almost rank 6. Fong Ping leaned on the chair and said with a relaxed expression, "That's it for now. I can't say what plans I have. There's no tomorrow." Now, the trend of the Catacombs' full-scale attack is becoming more and more obvious. Monster Life and Monster Plant dynasties are already eyeing us covetously. In the past, each Catacombs was a city. We were fighting against a portion of the forces. Instructor Bai also realized that now, there are more and more enemies. 2 cities, 3 cities alliance is already a common occurrence. This situation will continue to worsen. I'm afraid that it won't be long before all parties reach an agreement. When that time comes, that will be the true alliance of one region. When that time comes, I'm afraid that there will be a lot of wars. The outer region will definitely be in chaos first. People like us will have to participate in the war. Talking about these at this time, Fong Ping shook his head slightly and said with a smile, Instructor Bai, aren't you single too? Why didn't you consider it? Bai Ruashi laughed and said slowly, You know quite a lot. It's not that I didn't consider it. I also graduated from MCMEU 10 years ago. 11 years ago, I was the vice president of MCMEU's Martial Arts Society. At that time, there was also a president. He was also a prodigy of his generation. Of course, he can't be compared to you guys now. However, at that time, he was the president of MCMU's Martial Arts Society with his peak rank for ability. He was also a rare prodigy martial artist. Fong Ping frowned slightly. Without waiting for her to finish, he suddenly laughed and said, Let's not talk about this anymore. He knew. 11 years ago, MCMU had a prodigy president. However, that year something big happened. Wu Quishan's matter. He led a team into the catacombs, and almost all of them were wiped out. That president was included because the other party was Wu Quishan's student, a 22-year-old peak rank for powerhouse. 11 years ago, it was not easy to reach this stage. If it was today, 33 years old, he might have already entered rank 7. As soon as Bai Ruashi said this, Fong Ping knew what she meant. Bai Ruashi laughed and said, Let me finish. It's not what you think. There's nothing between me and him. It's just that for many years, I've been regretting it. Back then, I admired him very much, but I was ashamed of my own inferiority. I didn't dare to say it. When he died in the catacombs, I cried, regretted and regretted it. I'm not as good as Yunshi. If I had Yunshi's courage back then, maybe it would be a completely different life. Maybe I would have died in the catacombs with him. Maybe he wouldn't have gone to the catacombs at all. No matter what, if I dared to say it back then, I wouldn't feel too much regret all these years. At least I had it. Fong Ping, martial artists are all precarious. You're not the only one. You're worried that you'll die in the catacombs, but what about Yunshi? If one day she dies in the catacombs, will you regret that you didn't say something today? Will she regret that she didn't get an accurate answer even before she died? Fong Ping was slightly stunned. After a moment, he suddenly laughed and said, Yunshi, is the tea ready? It's ready. Behind him, Chen Yunshi's face was slightly red. She poured a cup of tea for Fong Ping and Bai Ruashi. Bai Ruashi chuckled and did not continue. She picked up the teacup and took a sip, revealing a satisfied expression. Using the life essence to make tea, and the tea leaves were the leaves of a rank 9 monster plant. Not many people could enjoy this kind of enjoyment. Without continuing the topic of Chen Yunshi, Bai Ruashi quickly returned to the topic at hand. It's like this. Recently, not only Sino Nation but other parts of the world, there have been some catacombs that have broken out in war. In Java, a catacomb was breached this morning, causing an earthquake and a tsunami. Fortunately, it was on an island, so the civilian casualties were not too high. Only a few hundred people died. Very quickly, it was settled by powerhouses from all over the country. However, the situation now is urgent. The Ministry of Education has sent a letter, and they may announce the catacombs in full in the near future. When that time comes, it may cause some chaos. The Ministry of Education wants all martial arts universities, Department of Investigation Services, and the military to be prepared to prevent people with ulterior motives from taking advantage of the situation. This time, the timing was just right. Coincidentally, most of the evil sex forces were wiped out, and these people did not have the opportunity to take advantage of the situation. Taking advantage of this time to fully announce the catacombs, so that the people can be somewhat prepared, so that when the war really comes, they will not collapse instantly. Recently, the Otherworld Invasion game has been very popular. The younger generation has a clear understanding of the catacombs. The movie is also being promoted, and the guiding work is almost done. At this point, in fact, ordinary people are already suspicious. Moreover, as the number of people who know about it increases, the development of the internet, and the smoothness of the information exchange, it is impossible to hide it. Recently, the discussion on the internet has been very intense. In the past, only rank 3 and above martial artists would know about it. But now, martial arts universities everywhere have completely publicized the catacombs. Coupled with the expansion of enrollment, there are even more martial artists. At this point, there is no need to continue to hide it and let the people speculate. After saying that, Bairuashi continued, moreover, the intention of the various departments is to clear the names of the martial artists and soldiers who died in the catacombs. These years, since the beginning of the neo-martial arts era, martial artists and soldiers have been stationed in the catacombs. 89 years. In these 89 years, the number of soldiers who died in battle is close to 1 million. The number of martial artists who died in battle is close to 200,000. The sacrifice of these millions of people must also be remembered by everyone. It did not sound like a lot. In the 90 years, more than 10,000 soldiers died in battle every year. The number of martial artists was even fewer, only about 2,000 each year. However, it also depends on the era. At that time, the number of martial artists was pitifully small. On average, more than 2,000 martial artists died in battle every year. This was not a small number. At the beginning of the neo-martial arts era, 2,000 people was probably 20% of the country's martial artists. At that time, Sino Nation might only have a little more than 10,000 martial artists. Based on that situation, after 5 years, all the martial artists would have died. Of course, there were fewer catacombs and fewer entrances in the early stages. The number of martial artists who died in the early stages was actually not that high, but the ratio of those who died in battle was definitely not low. As for the soldiers, the troops who entered the catacombs were definitely the most elite batch. More than 10,000 people died in battle every year, which was also an unbearable loss. It was only in the past few years that the flow of information was not convenient. Compared to the huge Sino Nation, 10,000 people was not worth mentioning, which was why there was no turmoil. Is it going to be made public? Fong Ping murmured softly. After a moment, he nodded and said, "It is going to be made public. The ancestors who sacrificed in the catacombs must be remembered. Martial artists also need to be cleared. We are not a group of privileged people who only know how to be greedy and enjoy. Call the Ministry of Education back. MCMU will cooperate well and do a good job in maintaining stability. The students will receive a mission to cooperate with the government in the near future. Make all preparations and proceed smoothly." There were more than 10,000 MCMU martial artists. Among the current forces, it was also a huge force. It was still extremely necessary for MCMAU to cooperate. Bairuashi responded and said, "Not only that, the department wants you to cooperate with some publicity. You, Wang Jinyang, both of you are the prodigies of the current generation. You are also the true Grandmaster-level powerhouses who walked out from among the ordinary people. Moreover, both of you are young, and you are the idols of today's teenagers. The hope is still pinned on the teenagers. If you cooperate with the publicity, the effect will be better. Also, there are a few movies that have been filmed recently, all of which are based on the theme of the recent war. This includes the Battle of Sky Gate and the Battle of Tiannan. You have participated in these battles before. You were even the leader of the Battle of Sky Gate. Including the upcoming Battle of Forbidden City, it might also be filmed. As the person involved, you can also dispel some of the public's worries. After all, these few battles have been great victories." Fong Ping frowned slightly and said, "Blindly talking about victory may not be a good thing." Bairuashi nodded and said, "That's why we will also hold a public national memorial to commemorate the millions of brave souls who have sacrificed their lives for peace and to protect mankind all these years. We can let the people feel the tragedy and pressure, but we can't crush them. Therefore, this time, we need your cooperation to give the public some confidence." Fong Ping exhaled softly and said, "All right, I have no opinion on this. Since there are many things to do recently, I'll make a trip." As he said that, Fong Ping asked, "Is there anything else?" Bairuashi smiled and said, "Yes, Dean Chun, Dean Su, and Dean who are probably not far from breaking through. There was an overflow of chi earlier. MCMU may soon have 3 more Grandmaster-level powerhouses. Dean Liu and Dean Tang have also officially entered middle stage rank 7. Dean Huang's skull-honing speed is extremely fast. Maybe in the near future, MCMU will have another rank 8 powerhouse. Fong Ping heard that and smiled. This is a joyous occasion. Bai Ruoshi continued. Other than that, Xia Lei has already entered rank 6. Zhao Xiumei and the others have all entered rank 5. Zhang Yu has also reached upper stage rank 5. He's not far from peak, and rank 6 is also not far away. Among the instructors, their strength is also improving rapidly. These were all matters within MCMAU. Outside the school, there were also joyous events. Fu Changding's grandfather, the CCMU instructor, had officially entered rank 7. CCMU had another Grandmaster-level powerhouse. Nanjiang's Zhang Dingnan had suffered serious injuries in the Nanjiang Catacombs battle. However, these days, not only had his injuries healed, but he had also advanced and entered upper stage rank 7. Zhang Dingnan's breakthrough was something that happened during Fong Ping's high school days. In just over 2 years, Zhang Dingnan could still break through upper stage rank 7 despite his injuries. He was also very talented. NMAU had not produced any Grandmaster since the fall of the old NMAU Vice-Chancellor, except for Old Wang. This time, both Vice-Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor had both entered Mentality Vitality Oneness. Old Wang's efforts were not in vain. NMU might soon have 2 Grandmaster-level powerhouses. Including Old Wang, there would be as many as 3. This was also the first time in history. Other than that, Donglin's governor and Beijiang's military commander, the 2 rank 7 powerhouses who were previously ranked above Fong Ping, had also entered rank 8 in just a short period of time. Needless to say, it had something to do with cultivation methods. Both of them cultivated their brain cores, and their mentality became stronger. Honing the skull required the coordination of mentality, and both of them were only one step away from cultivating the skull. Now that their mentality had become stronger, breaking through to rank 8 was also a matter of course. Among rank 8, CCMU's old vice-chancellor seemed to be welcoming a second spring. Rumor had it that he had been in closed-door cultivation recently, and rank 9 might be imminent. It was not only the old CCMAU vice-chancellor. After the battle with Elder 8, Nan Yinping had also returned to closed-door cultivation this time. There might be hope for rank 9 as well. Her sister Nan Yunyue had already reached the impasse realm, and she was still stuck at rank 8. This time, she might also feel the huge pressure. Other than these people, Minister Wang of the Education Department, Deputy Commander Zhou of the Military Department, and the Deputy Commander, who fought 1 against 3 in the Nanjiang Catacombs that day, had all chosen to go into closed-door cultivation recently, and there was hope for rank 9. Also, Fong Ping suddenly understood why the 2 presidents of the Martial Arts Association dared to rank him last. He heard that among the 2 presidents, the main one was already in closed-door cultivation, and there seemed to be hope for rank 9. The deputy president, who was also President Liu, was also in closed-door cultivation, and there was hope for rank 8. Once one of them achieved rank 9 and the other rank 8, the Martial Arts Association would be much more powerful. If Fong Ping did not achieve rank 9, they were not afraid of him. The next time a rank 9 dared to threaten them, the 2 presidents would probably ignore the other party. Unless it was a paragon. Fong Ping had only been in closed-door cultivation for half a month, but the world had changed a lot. Some of the older powerhouses seemed to have broken through the final bottleneck after obtaining the cultivation methods, rapidly completing the coiling of the celestial bridge, the materialization of the brain, and were about to enter the advancement period. The neo-martial arts era was close to 100 years of accumulation. The time was not long, but these days, it ushered in an explosive period. There was hope for Sino Nation's rank 9 Grandmaster ranking to break through 50 people. After Bai Ruoshi finished talking about these news, Fong Ping was also in a good mood. Fighting against the catacombs was not a matter of 1 or 2 people. Without reaching the Emperor realm, people as strong as the subduing Heavenly King and the others could not change the overall situation. However, once powerhouses surged out one after another, and there were a few more paragons, some things would be much easier to handle. Please remember this book's original domain name, 9 Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version website. Chapter 713. At the end of October, the government began to build momentum. They did not announce the news at the beginning. The news first spread on the internet. I heard that the game Invasion of the Other World is based on reality. If there really is an alternate world in the human world, would anyone still want to be a martial artist? Has anyone seen the previous movie's Battle of Vengeance and Armageddon? I heard that there are prototypes. I heard that many powerhouses died in the alternate world. Is that true? I heard that on the internet there were rumors of hearsay everywhere. The news became more and more intense. Countless people participated in the discussion. Was it true? Was the game real? Were the movies real? Did the alternate world really exist? With all kinds of doubts, the discussion became more intense. Countless people sent inquiries to the government. Was it true? Especially the parents of some martial arts university students. These days, they call their children 3 times a day. Was it true? Many people had seen the 2 movies that were released recently. Battle of Vengeance was about the battle in Sky Gate City. The battle was quite tragic. Although not many humans died in the battle, Battle of Vengeance did not focus on high-ranked powerhouses. Instead, it was a movie with middle-ranked and low-ranked martial artists as the main characters. In the movie, a familiar fatty died in the alternate world. The lover of a prodigy martial artist died in the alternate world. Some people's instructors died in the battle. Some people's brothers died in the battle. These people were the main characters of the movie. Battle of Vengeance was about a grudge that spanned 60 years of history. It was a battle between 2 major forces. At the beginning of the movie, the past was recounted through memories. Among them, there was an old man who spanned 60 years of history. Before the Great Battle, he died in the alternate world. It was also because of this old man's death that a series of unforeseen events followed. In the end, Battle of Vengeance hit the main point. The human powerhouses destroyed Sky Gate City. Yes, Sky Gate City. MCMU's name was changed, but Sky Gate City's name remained unchanged. Those who knew, and those who did not would not know. Some of the past deeds of the human leaders in this battle were also presented in the movie. Wu Quishan and Lu Fengru. Their daughter died in the alternate world. Li Chongqing's teacher was that old man. He had almost died at the hands of the Lord of Heaven Gate City. Although the young Fong Ping did not have any family members who had died at the hands of Sky Gate City's people, he had witnessed the death of the vice-chancellor, his teachers, and his classmates. The entire movie also depicted many of Fong Ping's psychological changes. From practicing martial arts for the sake of power and privilege, to the end, he became a hero and leader who led mankind to defeat their enemies. The government was building up momentum. It was also Fong Ping's first time watching 2 movies. The last time Zhang Tao said he wanted a film, Fong Ping thought it would take a long time. He did not expect it to be aired so soon. With the country taking the lead, some things were too simple. Moreover, most of the actors were martial artists, so the efficiency was even faster. As he watched the movie, scenes flashed through Fong Ping's mind. Out of the many times he went to the catacombs, the one that affected him the most was his first time. The first time he went to the catacombs, he saw many people die. There were teachers, students, and even the old man who had led MCMAU for 60 years. Not only that old man, but many other old grandmasters also rushed to the battlefield and perished together with the enemy. At that moment, Fong Ping was shocked beyond belief. At that moment, Fong Ping truly understood what it meant to be a grandmaster. In the face of a national crisis, what did personal life and death matter? When martial arts were cultivated to the illuminating realm, with a hearty laugh, they would bravely die. That was the backbone of mankind. That day, when he walked out of the catacombs, a powerhouse sang a sad song. Last year on this day in this sect, the faces of people and peach blossoms reflected each other red. Fong Ping felt an indescribable pain, an indescribable desolation. It was also at that time that he felt what a martial artist was. Responsibility. When the war began, the powerhouses let the weak retreat, let the young go first, and fought until the last moment, until the end of their lives. It was also from that time onward that Fong Ping improved rapidly. In a short time, He advanced to rank 8. Now his old friends had passed away. What appeared on the screen was not them, but it still made Fong Ping fall into silence. In the theater, Fong Ping was not the only one. At this moment, a few people had fallen into silence. After an unknown amount of time, Qin Fengqing suddenly laughed and said, "I can't do it. The guy who played me is too useless. He's only rank 3, and he can't even use flight step. What the hell is he doing? Do I look that useless? Also, I kill people with 1 slash. Motherf asterisk Kerr. This pretty boy is playing a game with him. He slashed him dozens of times, but he's not dead. What the hell is he doing?" Qin Fengqing cursed for a while, feeling that this relatively well-known actor was an insult to him. He's only a rank 3. Can he act like a rank 6 powerhouse? How can you kill people like that? When a martial artist wields a saber, it must be fast, accurate, and ruthless. Every slash must be fatal. Every move must be aimed at killing the enemy. They actually fought back and forth for dozens of rounds. After a while, he defended himself. "I wasn't so miserable that day. I was almost killed. Bullsh asterisk T. I was strong until the end. I kept killing people until my hands went limp. How can that be? Also, what the hell is this director doing? I'm so busy killing people that I don't have time to talk about love. He even found me a girlfriend. My girlfriend screamed and cried during the big battle. Idiot! Since this woman joined the battle, she must be killing the enemy. She's not a F asterisk king fool. Why is she staring at me at this time? Isn't she afraid of being hacked to death? Isn't she afraid of affecting my performance? All in all, the person who made this movie is an idiot. It's complete bullsh asterisk T. Qin Fengqing made the movie sound like there was nothing good about it. Fong Ping and Ironhead were too lazy to reply. If they did not film it like this, would anyone watch it? From the beginning to the end, it was just killing, killing, killing. During the big battle that day, no one had the mood to observe so much. What interaction? All they did was kill. If a movie like this was made, not many people would watch it. Only if they made some of this now would people buy it. Beside him, Li Hansong rolled his eyes and said disdainfully, "I wonder who was it that was killed that day," until he cried for his parents, asking me, an old Wong, to save him. You should film it and let people know your true colors. At the same time, tell everyone how shameless you, Qin Fengqing, are. You don't even know how many times you've shouted, "Master, save me." Qin Fengqing's face darkened. Ironhead, this bastard. Fine, I'll remember this. Just you wait. I'll let you bring this up every day. Li Hansong did not care about him. After saying that, he asked, "Why aren't the Jiao and the rest here?" Fong Ping laughed. "That's normal. We can't give everyone the feeling that the monsters are on our side. That would be a big problem. Demonic beasts were demonic beasts. They were ferocious and vicious. Nowadays, some people don't think deeply. If they say that this is an adaptation of a real event and think that the monsters are on their side, when they become martial artists and enter the catacombs in the future, thinking that they're on the same side, what do you think will happen to them? Death." Li Hansong understood. He had almost forgotten about this. If he really gave everyone a preconceived impression, when they encountered the monsters in the future, these fools would think that they could communicate with them. Just wait for death. Fong Ping did not continue this topic. Instead, he looked at Li Hansong and said curiously, "Speaking of which, I just found out that your parents are still alive. Blame me for being too direct. But I don't think I've heard you mention it. Ironhead, are your parents martial artists too?" In the movie, there were also figures of people like Ironhead and Old Wong, including when they left home at a young age, seeking a breakthrough in martial arts, and finally participating in the big battle. There was some narration. Li Hansong grinned. "Nonsense. Of course my parents are still alive. But when martial artists reach our level, they're too busy. How can they have so much time to go home and reunite with their families? My father is a rank for martial artist. Actually, he's from the military department. He's a commander-in-chief in the capital city military department. My mother is a rank 3 martial artist. Now she's also rank 4. She doesn't hold a position in the government. Instead, she started her own company. You know, there aren't many big battles in the capital city catacombs. If there are, It's a big battle between high ranks. That's why my father's place is relatively safe. As Li Hansong spoke, he looked at Fong Ping and said, "Isn't it the same for you? Your family is here in Magic City. You haven't been back for a long time." Fong Ping chuckled. "I haven't been back because I have a little ancestor at home. I see that she often runs home, so I haven't gone back. After all, there are many things to do. What about you? Take some time to go home and see more. Your parents are both martial artists. It's more dangerous." Li Hansong nodded and smiled quickly. "Old Wang is the best. Family reunion. I heard that his parents are on the same floor as his in-laws." Ha ha ha. A few people in the theater suddenly burst into laughter. Qin Fengqin grinned. "Old Wang will probably flip out if he hears this. You don't say. His little wife is quite devoted to him. Didn't you watch the movie? Senior, don't go. Senior, I'll wait for you." Ha ha. Qin Fengqin laughed. Wang Jinyang did not have a lot of space in Battle of Vengeance. However, Armageddon was only about the battle in Tian'an. Old Wang was the main character, at least relatively speaking. Armageddon was about a young martial artist who cultivated hard in order to save his teacher. He went deep into the enemy's camp and narrowly escaped death to save his teacher. That was why Old Wang had a lot of space in Armageddon. His little child bride had also been taken out of the movie many times. Fong Ping and the others could not help but laugh. Qin Fengqin continued, "If we announce it to the public this time, it'll be better for us. Although my mother doesn't know my exact situation, she knows that I've definitely gone to the catacombs." Fong Ping, on the other hand, if your parents find out, Fong Ping laughed, then sighed softly. "Do you really think that your parents and elders are idiots? Some things are already known, but they just don't want to say it. They make you think that they don't know, but in reality, they know very well. It's good to announce it. At least in the movie, I'm invincible. I'm not that dangerous." Having said that, Fong Ping added, "All right, let's not talk about this. We'll just cooperate with the official promotion in a few days." Having said that, Fong Ping tapped the table lightly. "After this promotion, I'm preparing to go to the catacombs." "You're going to the catacombs?" Li Hansong frowned. "Which catacombs? You're in a dangerous situation now. Dangerous or not, it's the same. Even if I'm not wanted, the catacombs will still want to kill me. It's the same. But I can't always stay above ground. Otherwise, how can I cultivate? This time, entering the catacombs, firstly, I want to get more benefits. Secondly, I want to enter the restricted area." Everyone's expression changed. Enter the restricted area? The restricted area was the real danger. There were hundreds of true kings in the huge restricted area. It was not like the Outland. No true king could enter no matter how dangerous it was. It was not that easy for a rank 9 powerhouse to kill Fong Ping. Fong Ping had some ability to escape. Plus, with the rank 9 combat boots on his feet, it was almost impossible for a weak rank 9 to kill Fong Ping. The real threat to Fong Ping were the Origin Path powerhouses. In the Outland, there were not many Origin Path powerhouses. Take the Magic City Catacombs, for example. The Skygate City Lord and the Skygate Tree were considered strong. The Skygate City Lord did not step into the Origin Path 11 years ago. It was not long ago that he stepped into the Origin Path. This was considered a powerful one, because he had been fighting with human martial artists all this time. As for the other city lords, less than half of them were Origin Path powerhouses. In the Outland, Fong Ping's safety was still relatively strong. However, in the restricted area, powerhouses were everywhere. The restricted area was too big, 6 billion square kilometers, 600 times the size of Sino Nation. Although the population was not as dense as Sino Nation, according to Zhang Peng, the population of the restricted area was only about 10 billion, but this did not include the demons. Moreover, humans did not know much about the restricted area. 10 billion was just Zhang Peng's estimate. How many powerhouses were there in the restricted area? How many true kings? How many rank 9? Humans did not know much about these. When humans entered the restricted area, other than the king battleground, going anywhere else was practically courting death. Not even the top. Li Hansong took a deep breath and said, "Why are you entering the restricted area now? The war is coming soon. Know yourself and the enemy and find out some information. Fong Ping smiled and said, "Also, isn't I wanted in the restricted area? Then I'll go in openly and give him a hard slap in the face." Li Hansong was speechless. "Are you free?" As for finding out information, Minister Zhang and the others won't be clueless. It's hard to say. Fong Ping shook his head and said, "Old Zhang and the others can't go in either. At most, they can find out some information through those who are guarding the king battleground. What can they know about other places? Also, I have to see how far the 4 royal courts are prepared. If the war really breaks out, if we don't even know the enemy's strength, what's the point? Right now, the only thing we know is that there are 49 true kings in the Monster Plant's royal court. That's what they announced to the outside world. But is it true? There are strong and weak true kings too. Do you know this?" Qin Fengqing looked at him suspiciously and said, "You're going in just to find out information? This isn't your style, right?" Fong Ping, "Why do you want to enter the restricted area?" Fong Ping licked his lips and smiled. "Want to hear the truth? Of course. Simple. Taking advantage of the fact that the Monster Plant's royal court and the Monster Plant's royal court just cooperated and now there's a crack, I want to go in and do something so that the 2 royal courts won't cooperate so easily." Fong Ping took a deep breath and said, "Actually, old Zhang and the others have this idea, but they can't do it, and they don't have the ability to do it. Now that the 2 royal courts have cooperated, how can there be no pressure? Right now, there are still some gaps between the 2 sides, especially this time. The Monster Life Royal Court's true king has fallen. Now the gap is the biggest. The situation between the 2 sides can be triggered at any moment. However, if no one makes trouble, no one adds fuel to the fire. These guys are all old guys. They can endure it. Endure it. Once the storm passes, then it'll be nothing. However, if at this time we add fuel to the fire, then it'll definitely not pass so easily. If we kill a few more big shots or important people, maybe both sides will fight until their brains splatter." Li Hansong suddenly frowned. "Fong Ping, it's not that simple. The catacombs martial artists know that you can change your aura." Fong Ping smiled. "But they don't know that I can sneak into the restricted area. Over at Imperial Sea Mountain, they can't enter, and we can't enter either. So, no one would expect me to appear in the restricted area at this time. How are you going to get in?" Fong Ping looked at Qin Fengqing with a smile. Qin Fengqing was stunned for a moment. After a while, he murmured, "You mean the youth martial arts competition?" Beside him, Li Hansong asked doubtfully, "What?" Qin Fengqing explained, "When Fong Ping and I went to the catacombs to mine, this guy pretended to be a catacombs martial artist and got a lot of information. Over at the catacomb cities, I'm not too sure about other cities, but Monster Sunflower City Lord's House will hold a youth martial arts competition every year. Geniuses with outstanding performances will be sent to the restricted area." At that time, this guy said he wanted to pretend to be a catacombs martial artist, participate in the competition, and enter the restricted area. Qin Fengqing's memory was very good. He had not forgotten about this until now. As soon as Fong Ping said this, he remembered this, and quickly asked, "Is Monster Sunflower City going to hold a youth martial arts competition?" Fong Ping smiled. "It should be. Recently, there's information in Magic City's catacombs. Some of the small cities and villages near Monster Sunflower City. Young martial artists from these places are all gathering towards Monster Sunflower City. Monster Sunflower City's selection of geniuses are all middle ranks. Low ranks usually don't participate. You guys, if I participate, wouldn't it be easy? You look like this." Before Qin Fengqing could finish, Fong Ping suddenly rubbed his cheeks hard. After a while, Fong Ping's appearance changed. Qin Fengqing's face was blank, and after a while, he asked, "How did you do it?" "It's simple." Fong Ping smiled. "Actually, it's not considered difficult. Rank 8 can usually do it, it's just not necessary." The current Fong Ping was very similar to Qin Fengqing. Fong Ping smiled. "What is a golden body?" A golden body powerhouse is already a true existence of gods and Buddhas. Their corporeal bodies are incomparably strong. Being strong is built on the fact that the corporeal body is ever-changing. Broken limbs can regrow, even to the point of being reborn from a single drop of blood. As long as my origin is not destroyed, my mentality is not destroyed, and the existence of indestructible substances, then even if I'm beaten until I'm left with only a drop of blood, I can still be reborn. Of course, this requires time and a lot of indestructible substances. This is a golden body powerhouse. As for changing the cell reorganization, it's not difficult. It's the same principle as splitting vitality force simpler. Splitting cells is much easier than splitting vitality. This time I've been in closed-door cultivation for many days, splitting vitality all the time, and I've thought of this. Compared to plastic surgery, this is called authentic and even more awesome. However, for martial artists, changing your appearance is useless. Once your aura is revealed, no matter how you change, you're still you. But for me, that's different. Fong Ping chuckled. At rank 8, to me, being able to reorganize my golden body is like a fish in water. Say if I get rid of Feng Yeshing, replace him, and kill Ji Yao, wouldn't that be very interesting? Li Hansong still frowned. It's fine once, but a few times, other people aren't stupid. Would they really not know that there's a problem? Fong Ping smiled. It doesn't matter. After this once, even if I don't stir up trouble next time, they'll have to guard against the people around them. They'll think, could this guy be Fong Ping in disguise? Moreover, if he doesn't expose himself, then that's even better. Let the two majestic courts fight and become estranged. Even if it's only for a while, it'll make things easier for us. As Fong Ping said that, he added, I won't bring you guys this time. You guys do what you need to do. As for me, I won't tell too many people. It's best if you guys say that I'm still in closed-door cultivation. I trust you guys, that's why I'm mentioning this to you guys. If the evil sect finds out and divulges it, then I'll be in trouble. Although the incident with Qin Fengqing's cauldron has been thoroughly investigated, we still have to be on guard. If there's any secret in the future, just use your mentality to communicate. Other than people like old Zhang, who can eavesdrop without a sound, the others can't do it. Moreover, the paragons won't do this all the time. Old Zhang and the rest's mentality covers us. We might not realize it, but the other paragons will still know. That's why we can keep the secret safer this way. Both of them nodded. Qin Fengqing thought for a while and said, You want to sneak into Monster Sunflower City? It's not that simple. Monster Sunflower City's youth martial arts competition definitely has some qualification requirements. Kill someone who's qualified, then impersonate him. Fong Ping chuckled. How simple. However, this matter requires cooperation. We have to make Monster Sunflower City a little more chaotic. If it's not chaotic, then it'll be easier to be exposed. However, if it's chaotic, then it'll be simple. Since MCMU wants to take over Magic City's catacombs, and now the military department also has the same intention, then we should at least have a good start. There are still many powerhouses in Monster Sunflower City. There are even 2 rank 8s. There are also many rank 7s. If we take this opportunity to kill a batch, then it'll be much easier. Also, I can't impersonate someone who's too weak. It'd be best if they're peak rank 6. It'd be best if they have a rank 8 or 9 at home. If their status is low, no one will pay attention to the catacombs powerhouse's conduct. If I kill the grandson of Monster Sunflower City's city lord and replace him, even if I go to the restricted area, I'll still have some status. Therefore, I still have to ask around for information. At the same time, I have to kill the elder that I want to replace that person. Otherwise, if they're too familiar, it'll be easy to be exposed. Even if I don't kill them, I have to seriously injure them so that both parties won't have time to interact. This is in line with my expectations. It's difficult for me to go to the catacombs now. It's not suitable for me now. Qin Fengqing, you and Ironhead are in charge of this. Ask around for some information and make preparations. When I come back from the restricted area, I'll completely annihilate Monster Sunflower City. I've been eyeing that big sunflower for a long time. Li Hansong muttered, How about? I go too? Forget it. You'll be exposed if you're 1,000 meters away from me. Don't tell me we can stick together every day. If we separate in the restricted area, not only will you be exposed, I'll be exposed too. That'll be troublesome. If I go, I'll go alone. As Fong Ping said that, he calculated for a while before saying, "When I go in, I'll definitely have to kill a group of important people. Do you guys think we should mention this to old Zhang? It's better to say it. At least at the critical moment, if you're exposed, there'll be someone to back you up." Li Hansong said seriously. "Otherwise, you won't even have someone to back you up. Even if you escape to Mount Imperial Sea, you might not be able to come back. Minister Zhang is still very strong. If he makes a move at the critical moment, he can save your life. Also, we have to listen to the minister's opinion. You're thinking of messing up the two royal courts, but it might not be in line with the minister's plans and expectations. If you mess things up, it'll be even more troublesome." "That's true." Fong Ping tapped the table lightly. After a while, he said, "Let's put it this way first. We'll talk about the specifics later. I actually have another purpose for going this time." Fong Ping narrowed his eyes. "I'll go and see if the brain nucleus cultivation method has been spread to the restricted area." Both of them frowned. Right now, old Zhang was only passing it on to trustworthy martial artists. If this spread to the restricted area, then it meant that the matter was serious. Old Zhang said that he did not pass it on to Zhao Xingwu. Whether it was true or not, it meant that old Zhang was confident that Zhao Xingwu would not pass it to the restricted area. It would be fine if it did not spread to the restricted area. If it did, then it meant that some of the people who were passing it on now still had problems inside. Seeing the serious expressions on both of their faces, Fong Ping could not help but laugh. "I'm just going to take a look. It might not be like this. Also, I'll go and stay for a while longer this time. To be honest, every time I go into the catacombs, it's only for a short period of time. Every time, I'm chased back by someone. Although I've gone down quite a few times, the time I've stayed really isn't much. This time, I'll take advantage of going to the restricted area to admire the environment of the catacombs and look at the beautiful scenery." Qin Fengqing rolled his eyes. "Only you could say something like that. Please remember this book's original domain name. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version website." Chapter 714. At the end of October, the government guided public opinion. After a few days of fermenting, under the watchful eyes of countless people, the government held a press conference on November 1st. The alternate world does exist. This time, the official spokesperson of the press conference was none other than old Zhang, who was there to announce the news. At this moment, old Zhang was no longer as genial as he used to be. He was no longer smiling. His expression was extremely serious. The game Invasion of the Alternate World, including the 2 movies that were released recently, are all based on real events. In Battle of Vengeance, the Alliance Martial Arts University, I think many people can see that it's similar to a martial arts university in reality. Magic City Martial Arts University is the prototype. I think many people still remember that in August this year, MCMEU returned from purging the evil sect. They came back victorious and went around the city to praise their achievements. In reality, that was MCMEU's Battle of Vengeance. They fought for 60 years. MCMEU is not the only one. It's just a microcosm of today's world. Capital City Martial Arts University was founded in 1921. Since 1921, they've been fighting against the catacombs, which is what we call the alternate world martial artists. MCMAU is the same. Everything is real. The truth is crueler than the movies. Zhang Tao's tone was cold. Vice-Chancellor Yu of MCMAU used to be a powerhouse on the rank 8 list. Why did he disappear? In the past 2 years, the number of people on the Grandmaster list has increased, but many familiar faces have also disappeared. Where did these people go? Let me tell you, it's not that their strength has regressed. It's not that they died of illness. Those who have seen Fong Ping's breakthrough know what it means to be a high-rank powerhouse. Those people died in battle. They died in battle in the catacombs. Although Zhang Tao's tone was calm, it was fluctuating. He said loudly, "What you remember is only some of them, a very small number of them. In the past few years, many people have questioned why martial artists occupy high positions, why they enjoy special privileges. Then let me tell you now, it's because they fought in the front line. In the past 100 years, martial artists and soldiers rushed to the front line, rushed to the battlefield, knowing that they would die, but still calm. In the past few years, almost 1 million soldiers died in battle. 200,000 martial artists died in battle. 1.2 million people. 1.2 million heroic souls. And these are those who died in battle in the catacombs. Some were injured, some were crippled, some bled and cried. They are the real heroes. But heroes are nameless. We don't dare to say it. We can't say it. We were afraid. We were afraid that you wouldn't be able to bear it. We were afraid that you would be frightened. So, we blocked all information. But this does not mean that we have forgotten these heroes. A long time ago, I said that one day, these heroes will get their rightful names. Let the world remember it. Don't forget their blood and sacrifice. Don't forget that the peace and stability we have today is due to their sacrifice. Zhang Tao was visibly agitated. 4 high-rank powerhouses, especially those who have achieved rank 8 and rank 9, is living for 500 years considered long? Not long. For martial arts experts, what was 1,000 years, let alone 500 years? Today, however, the number of high-ranked powerhouses in Sino Nation was 556. Of these 556 people, only 12 were martial artists over 100 years old. More or less. What about the other people over 100 years old? Dead. He died in battle in the catacombs. The many years of war had caused them to be covered in wounds and become old before they even reached 100 years of age. In the moment of old age, they are all advancing, all fighting to the end of their lives. Zhang Tao suddenly smiled and said, "I'm very proud. And very proud too. I've lived in such an era. For 100 years, not a single martial artist died of illness or old age in bed. All martial artists must fight to the end of their lives. Other than these martial artists, there are also our soldiers. They are also heroes that are even more worthy of admiration. Many of them are not even martial artists, but they still defend the borders. They die in battle in the catacombs and are buried in the catacombs. Day and night, even in death, they do not forget to protect their country. This is the modern era. This is the neo-martial arts era. This is the source of Sino Nation's prosperity. In your eyes, martial artists who enjoy glory and wealth are fighting to the death. Many of them are very, very young. They are all prodigies of their generation. They have been admitted to martial arts universities, and they are envied by everyone. But do you know how many prodigies in your eyes have died in battle in the catacombs in their 20s? The venue of the press conference was quiet. Zhang Tao looked around and chuckled. Since you must know, then I will tell you. You think you need the right to know. Fine. Now the right to know is given to you. As for the specific information about the catacombs, I won't say much. After that, the government will announce some policies and release some information about the catacombs. Everyone can go take a look. Whatever you want to know, whatever you wish to know, we will tell you. Now, if there is anything you don't understand, you can ask on the spot. Today, we have invited Fong Ping, Wang Jinyang, and a few other prodigies of this generation to be here. Some people might think that our words are not trustworthy, but I think you will not doubt these prodigies. Because they are just like you. 2 or 3 years ago, they were one of you. They are not the privileged class that you think they are. If you want to know anything, just ask. As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping, Wang Jinyang, and a few others walked up to the stage. On stage, Fong Ping smiled. I am Fong Ping. Everyone should know me. I come from a small county town in Nanjiang. My father is a worker in a ceramic factory. My mother is a housewife. She used to do odd jobs. I do not come from a martial arts family. I do not have a family background that is enviable, nor do I have powerful ancestors. Of the 5 generations of my family, only my generation has produced a martial artist. Before this, I have always been one of the masses. There are many, many people like me. Every year, most of the students who get into martial arts universities come from ordinary families. After all, there are only so many people in martial arts families. There are millions of martial artists in Sino Nation now, and 80% of them come from ordinary families. That is why Minister Zhang asked me to clarify some of your doubts. It is also to let everyone understand the situation more clearly, without any impersonal emotions. Fong Ping spoke for a while, then quickly said, "The media present, if you have any questions, you can ask them now. The existence of the catacombs is a big deal. This time, not only Sino Nation, but the whole world is broadcasting it live. Other countries are also announcing some information, and everyone can compare. Now, the people are the masters of the country. If you want to ask or know anything, you can ask now." As soon as Fong Ping finished speaking, someone below the stage raised his hand excitedly. Fong Ping's eyebrows twitched slightly. What the F asterisk CK? Why was that idiot Lu Dali here? He had not noticed before. Fong Ping glanced at him and ignored him. He pointed at a female reporter and said with a smile, "This reporter, you may ask." The female reporter was a little excited. She quickly said, "Grandmaster Fong, I am your admirer. I would like to ask, in both Battle of Vengeance and Armageddon, there is a young martial artist named Fong Wu. May I ask, were they filmed based on you?" Fong Wu. Fong Ping was helpless. What kind of name was that? He might as well just call it a house. Despite his helplessness, Fong Ping still smiled and said, "That's right, they were created based on me. That movie said that you once blew up a royal city, massacred millions." The female reporter was a little nervous. Fong Ping said lightly, "Everyone, this is a race war. It is a war of survival. Don't ask these childish questions. I can tell you, once the catacombs fully attack, the survival of mankind will be at stake. There are 108 territories in the catacombs, and the war before was only in one of them. In this territory alone, many grandmasters from Sino Nation died in battle. 2 years ago, I think everyone knows about the Great Tiananmen earthquake. That time, the catacombs passageway was breached. Although we evacuated in time, tens of thousands of Sino Nation soldiers still died in the catacombs, and almost 1,000 martial artists died in battle. In the Tiananmen catacombs battle, Sino Nation suffered heavy losses. If they did not rescue in time that day, tens of millions of people in Tiananmen province would be annihilated. Don't think that I'm being an alarmist. There is no need for that. There is no need for me to scare anyone, and there is no need for me to boost the enemy's morale. However, we have to face reality and recognize the difference in strength between us and the enemy. In the face of such a great war, do we still have to consider whether the foreign species were killed by mistake? Are we innocent? If we did not blow up the royal city that day, there might be 100 less people on the Grandmaster ranking today. You may not understand now, and you may not be able to understand. I don't need you to understand. Those who understand will naturally understand, and those who don't, I won't say much. I only hope that everyone is not so naive to think that we still have a chance to live in peace with the catacombs. Let me tell you, there is no such chance. The catacombs humans came here to destroy Earth. They came here to kill. Don't be foolish enough to think that we can negotiate and coexist in the same world. Those who have this kind of thinking are extremely ridiculous. Having said that, Fong Ping said again, "Next." Very quickly, the second reporter stood up and said hurriedly, "Grandmaster Fong, the war has gone on for so many years. Do humans have any hope of winning?" Fong Ping laughed. "Of course. If not, then what's the point of struggling? Our strength is increasing day by day. Everyone should be able to feel it. In the past, how many high-ranked martial artists were there? How many are there now? It's precisely because we're strong and have the tendency to counterattack that the catacombs have been breaking out in wars recently. They want to disrupt our rhythm while our strength is improving. The evil sect martial artists appeared previously because of the catacombs' instructions. The evil sect is the human world's malignant tumor, traitor and traitor. These people are all cowards who are kneeling and begging for their lives, but they don't know how ridiculous they are. If we can really survive by compromising, then we wouldn't have been fighting until now. The catacombs' purpose is to slaughter all humans. Grandmaster Fong, why does the catacombs insist on slaughtering humans? Because human blood can be sacrificed to Earth, so that Earth can be integrated into the catacombs and become a part of the catacombs. Fong Ping said lightly, "They want to devour our world and strengthen their own. But we came from Earth, and we are also a part of Earth. If we don't die in their world, we are a virus. They must kill all of us and let us return to Earth. Only then can they devour the entire Earth. Behind Fong Ping, Nan Yunyue, who had also rushed over, asked telepathically, "Did you teach him to say that?" Zhang Tao was speechless. "Nonsense. Do I still need to teach him? This guy is better at talking than me. It's useless even if I teach him. He can say whatever he wants and make up whatever he wants. The catacombs' purpose is already unclear. Do you think they can confront the catacombs' martial artists? He's currently the most famous martial artist, and he has a great reputation. If he says that, can you refute his words without solid evidence?" Nan Yunyue did not know whether to laugh or cry. He's really good. However, this possibility, I can't say that it's impossible. I can't say that Fong Ping is talking nonsense either. On the stage, another reporter asked, "Grandmaster Fong, how do we compare the strength of the enemy? On the whole, the other party is slightly stronger than us. However, they don't get along with each other and are not as united as we are. Unity is strength. That's why after so many years, we have the upper hand. The ratio of casualties is about 1:10. We have 1, and they have 10. Of course, from this, we can also see how strong the other party is. Their casualties are 10 times more than ours, but they can still compete with us, and even suppress us slightly. We must face all of this. Now, the other party has also begun to unite and unite after suffering heavy losses. That's why we need more new blood to fight against the catacombs invasion together and quell the disaster of the catacombs. For 100 years, our ancestors have shed their blood and laid the foundation for us. Today, we can counterattack the catacombs because of the sacrifices of these ancestors." Grandmaster Fong, do we need to enter the catacombs and participate in the battle in the future? Fong Ping said lightly, "Right now, it's only martial artists and soldiers. In the future, when the war breaks out, we can't rule out this possibility. When our country is on the brink of extinction, even if we die, we must die with dignity. But don't worry, when that time comes, we will die before you. In today's Sino nation, we don't have the habit of letting the weak die. It's always the strong who die first, and the weak who take the lead. This is why Sino nation is becoming stronger and stronger, and the more they fight, the stronger they become. All these years, how many martial artists have died in battle? How many soldiers have died in battle? But have you all been affected? If it wasn't for the fact that we can't hide it anymore, we would rather everyone live a carefree life, live in the present, and not live in worry. You think that we've taken away your right to know, but you don't know that we just want everyone to live a safer and more peaceful life. However, as society advances and information exchange becomes more convenient, you are no longer satisfied with what you have now. Then, we respect everyone's choice. We'll tell you everything. Since you know, then everyone has to take responsibility." At this moment, Lu Dali seized the opportunity and said excitedly, "Grandmaster Fong, the next time you go to the catacombs, can you bring me along? I'm also a peak rank 3 martial artist." Fong Ping was suddenly speechless. This guy was such a good-for-nothing. How long had it been? Why was he still peak rank 3? Before he became a martial artist, this guy was already rank 3. Middle stage rank 3 then? 2 years later, peak rank 3? Fong Ping remembered that after he walked the path of invincibility among rank 3, this guy was already upper stage rank 3. That time seemed to be August 9th. Now more than a year had passed, and he had only improved so little. Other than that, Fong Ping also saw this guy's work ID, Distance Media. This guy had not left yet? Recently, Fong Ping really did not care too much about the company's matters. The main thing was that going to the catacombs was good at making money, much more than the company. Just a casual trip to the catacombs could earn him tens or hundreds of billions. Therefore, he almost did not care about the company now. It was still Li Chengze who was managing it. Hearing Lu Dali's words, if they were in private, Fong Ping would have sent him flying with a slap. Now Fong Ping was still smiling. "It's very dangerous to be with me, because my opponents are all high-ranked martial artists in the catacombs. You should also understand the strength of high-ranked martial artists. So if you go to the catacombs, it's best if you listen to the government's arrangements. Lu Dali said excitedly, "Can I film when I go to the catacombs?" Fong Ping was stunned. After a while, he said, "You haven't been to the catacombs before?" "No." Fong Ping was speechless. This guy had actually not been to the catacombs before? F***CK. What a waste. Casual martial artists were not quite the same as martial arts university martial artists. Only middle-ranked casual martial artists would be forced to go to the catacombs. However, Lu Dali was a peak rank 3. Logically, he should have been informed. Fong Ping smiled. The catacombs are a little different from Earth. Electronic equipment can't be used, so you can't film. As soon as he said that, many people felt a little regretful. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. Some of the reporters present were actually not weak. On the other hand, there were not many normal people. These people's focus was not on the catacombs. Perhaps they had not been to the catacombs before, but they knew about them. Therefore, these people were not too shocked or surprised about the catacombs being publicized. If that was the case, Fong Ping did not point them out. Instead, he pointed to a normal reporter and said, "You ask." Fong. Grandmaster Fong. This person was a little uneasy. He said nervously, "Since the alternate world really exists and now it's being publicized to the public, what kind of impact will it have on us normal people? Will the government enter a state of military control? Will we enter a state of wartime control?" Fong Ping smiled. "It's still the same as before. Everyone can continue to live their lives. Of course, if you feel the need to pick up a weapon to protect your life, then go and practice martial arts. Nowadays, pills and other auxiliary drugs are much cheaper. If you want to practice martial arts, you can also go to some martial arts dojos to learn. The tuition fees are also very cheap now. The danger of a breakthrough lies in the period between aspiring martial artists and rank 1. These are all introduced. However, there are many middle-rank martial artists now. Whether it's martial arts dojos or martial arts universities, there are many middle-rank martial artists. In the future, the local governments will also set up some free auxiliary breakthrough areas. At this time, if you feel that you're about to break through, then you can go to the auxiliary area and seek help from middle-rank martial artists. This is free. This is an era of information. If the local government does not do a good job or is not in place, you can complain at any time. I think the government will also help the people who are willing to fight against the catacombs and will not dampen everyone's enthusiasm. Then some of us have relatives in martial arts universities. This, Fong Ping frowned. Since you've entered a martial arts university, you need to pay a price. Of course, if you're not willing to pay a price, we won't blame you. If you're really unwilling to go to the catacombs, unwilling to participate in the war, and afraid of death, it's okay. You can just return all the resources you've used in martial arts universities. What we need is a group of like-minded comrades, not martial artists and cowards who think of running away at any time. All these years, we haven't forced anyone to go to the catacombs to fight. Although this is everyone's responsibility, if you're unwilling to bear this responsibility, we won't care. As long as you don't betray humanity, then you can live your life in peace. Of course, this is excluding martial artists who are middle-ranked and above. This is because we've already told everyone about the catacombs before we became middle-ranked. At this time, if you don't participate in the war, then you're a deserter. There's another way to treat deserters. Of course, this hasn't happened in the past 100 years. However, some people's family and parents' persuasion, as children, they might not be able to refuse. Unless it's the last resort, unless they're at their wits' end, these non-middle-ranked martial artists can retreat. After saying that, Fong Ping was silent for a moment. He then said, "However, in the face of a national crisis, is there really a way out? If we don't participate in the war today, it'll be too late in the future. If I don't improve my strength, how can I protect my family? What's the point of enjoying these few years of comfort? Do martial artists only exist for special privileges and enjoyment? Sino Nation doesn't need martial artists like this. The world doesn't need them. Martial artists like this don't deserve to be called martial artists. withdraw from martial arts universities, hand over resources, cancel all special treatment, and strip martial artist identity. Martial artists aren't just about pure strength. It's also a kind of responsibility, There was a moment of silence. Then, faint applause sounded. Fong Ping did not care about this. He looked around and asked, "Do you have any doubts?" "Grandmaster Fong, you said that the all-out war hasn't started yet. When will it start? If it's early, 2 to 3 years. If it's late, 3 to 5 years. That's fast." Many people were shocked. Fong Ping replied, "It's fast indeed. However, even if the war breaks out, it won't reach the final stage immediately. Whether humans win or lose, it will last for a period of time. Maybe a few years, maybe a few decades. Therefore, it's not too late for those who want to become martial artists." Fong Ping answered many questions. He would also let everyone understand some things through other policies and learning. The conference ended quickly. As soon as it ended, Fong Ping's phone rang. The call was from Fong Mingrong. Fong Ping answered the call. The other side of the phone was silent for a long time. After a long time, Fong Mingrong said, "Ping Ping, your mom, and I want to practice martial arts too." "Dad, you said it yourself. Fighting against the catacombs is everyone's responsibility. This is the responsibility of all mankind, not yours. I may be old, but when the day comes, I can also go to the battlefield and kill the enemy." Fong Ping sighed softly. After a long time, he said, "Dad, let's talk about it when I get back. Don't think about this. Things aren't that bad. If it really comes to the point where you and Mom have to go to the battlefield, humans will probably be defeated. When that time comes, it won't be enough to change anything." After chatting with his father for a while, Fong Ping hung up. Beside him, Zhang Tao smiled faintly. "Your father is much more honest than you. How did he give birth to a son like you?" Fong Ping rolled his eyes and said gloomily, "Director, your grandchildren are very honest too. Your descendants are so honest. Why are you so unreliable as a grandfather?" Zhang Tao snorted and did not continue. Instead, he spread out his mentality. After a while, he said softly, "It's a little chaotic. The outside world was in an uproar." Unlike the press conference, where everyone had seen the world and many people knew the news in advance. In the outside world, however, most of them were normal people. Now, it was a complete mess. Some young people had even packed their luggage and were going to learn martial arts. Some parents were crying and wailing, holding their children back, unwilling to let them go. 200,000 martial artists had died in battle. Millions of soldiers. It sounded like a number, but that was based on the fact that it was someone else who had died. Their children were still young. If they went to learn martial arts now, once they entered the catacombs and died in the catacombs, how many people could bear it? Fong Ping smiled. "It's chaotic, but it's only temporary. Director, I don't care about these things anymore. You and your people have been preparing for so many years. The situation hasn't deteriorated to the worst point yet. I believe you can handle it. Director, let's find a place to talk." Zhang Tao looked at him suspiciously. This kid was not going to cause trouble, was he? These few days of peace were hard to come by. These days, Fong Ping was in closed-door cultivation and did not go to the catacombs. He was much more relaxed. This kid went to the catacombs. It was fine before, but now he had to fight almost every time. It was not easy to feel good for a few days. Was trouble going to happen again? Zhang Tao wanted to ignore him, but when he thought that if this kid acted on his own, he might cause more trouble. Zhang Tao said wearily, "All right, let's talk." He had no other choice. Since when did he have to worry about a rank 8 martial artist causing a huge problem that even he could not handle? No, it seemed like he could not handle it anymore. Previously in Magic City Catacombs, in the King's Battleground, in the Forbidden Catacombs, after a few times, it seemed like he could not handle it on his own. Warlord had fought a few times. P.S. Transitional period, high update, thinking can't keep up. I need to slow down these few days. Give me some time to think about the next plot, how to write it well. More than 5 million words, I'm getting a little tired. Please remember this book's domain name. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor mobile version website. Chapter 715. The building where the press conference was held. The top floor. The coffee shop. There were very few people in the hall. There were only a few people sitting in twos and threes. They were all warriors, and they were all experts. There were viewing windows all around. Capital City was unobstructed. Fong Ping and Zhang Tao found a place to sit. The martial artists around them nodded at them, but no one came forward to disturb them. This place isn't bad, right? Zhang Tao leaned back in his chair, his posture relaxed. Viewing the scenery here is much better than when you were in that tower. Fong Ping said calmly, it's easier to find gossip here. You can listen to it whenever you want. Zhang Tao glanced at him. He became even more indolent, leaning back in his chair. He smiled faintly. Don't give me that. If you do it a few more times, I won't be able to hold back my anger. I'll kill you. He smiled again. Listening to gossip isn't the main goal. Capital City has 2 catacombs. Sino Nation capital is located there. Nothing can go wrong here. I have to patrol frequently to prevent the evil cult from lurking. Do you really think I have nothing better to do? Whether Fong Ping believed it or not, Zhang Tao believed it. As they spoke, the waiter had already served their coffee. The waiters here were just normal people, not martial artists. Fong Ping was surprised that the waiters were not martial artists in a place like this, a place where martial artists came to spend their money. Seeing Fong Ping watching the waiters leave, Zhang Tao smiled. Stop looking. They're just normal people. It's just a place to pass the time. Isn't it a waste for martial artists to stay here? He looked out the window and smiled. It's a mess. It's good that it's a mess. All these years, in order to block the news and not let the people know the truth, many people have died in the catacombs. They have to find a reason, a ridiculous reason. They died in a military exercise. They were stationed at the border. They got into an accident. They died of illness. They were attacked by the evil cult. I'm tired of making up all these excuses. It's annoying too. I don't have to worry about this anymore. It'll save me a lot of trouble. Fong Ping picked up his coffee and took a sip. He frowned slightly and said disappointedly, Is it really coffee? I thought it would be something good. Do you think everyone is like you, wasteful? I earn it myself. If I don't spend it, it'll be meaningless. The two of them chatted for a while. Fong Ping asked, Minister, when will the National Memorial begin? Number 8. Then I might not be able to make it in time. Zhang Tao frowned slightly and asked after a pause, Tell me, what do you want? Fong Ping looked around cautiously. Zhang Tao's expression darkened. I'm here. Is there anyone who can eavesdrop on my conversation? Was this kid looking down on him? Even the heaven-subduing heavenly king wouldn't be able to hide from him. Did he really think he was a pushover? Fong Ping did not mind. He smiled and said, It's like this. Didn't Senior Warlord kill a Monster Life Royal Court's true king? You also said that the Monster Plant Royal Court was framed by a true monarch. But at this time, the people of the Monster Life Royal Court might not know. Of course, the death of a true king was a big deal, and they would definitely be dissatisfied with the Monster Plant Royal Court. At this time, if we can provoke the two sides into fighting each other, even if it's not a long-term conflict, it will be enough to give us a break. The Demon Royal Court will participate in the war. Fong Ping hesitated for a moment, but still admitted the Monster Life Royal Court had been sitting on top of the mountain to watch the tigers fight. I played a part, causing the Monster Life Royal Court to join the war in advance. I, Fong Ping, am not that great, but I will bear the responsibility. This time, I want to sneak into the restricted area and see if I can find an opportunity to provoke the two royal courts into a conflict. Zhang Tao sighed suddenly. He picked up his coffee and took a sip. After a long time, he said, I knew you couldn't stay idle, but I didn't expect it to be so soon. The Battle of the Forbidden City ended not long ago, and the evil sects attacked not long ago too. You can't even hold it in for a month, right? If you have this time, first improve your ability. When you reach rank 9, you won't be able to stay idle even if you want to. Fong Ping smiled bitterly. I want to, but it's not that simple. At my level, it's not that easy to improve and advance quickly. My imperishable substance, after many uses, is already very little. At this time, I can only rely on external resources to cultivate. Don't you see that every cent of my money is good? There's no other way. At rank 8, my foundation is also almost used up. At this time, I can only rely on myself. Coincidentally, the opportunity has come. Maybe I can even cause the two royal courts to fight, killing two birds with one stone. If you want to go, then it has to be now. If you delay any longer, the storm of this true king's death will be over. At that time, if you want to provoke the two royal courts to fight again, it won't be so easy. Zhang Tao did not speak for a long time. Fong Ping did not care. After a while, he said, "Minister, is a true king extremely important to the royal court? Is the death of a true king in monster life royal court insignificant? Or is it very important?" Very important. Zhang Tao gave an affirmative answer. True kings are not ordinary martial artists. Every true king is a top-notch powerhouse who has stepped on the end of a martial arts path. There are many true kings in the catacombs, but this doesn't mean that true kings are not important. The catacombs started accumulating since the God continent calendar. Today's true kings are generally about 1,000 years old. There are actually very few newly promoted true kings. In the past 100 years, humans have produced a few paragons. Sino Nation has produced 3. Heaven of Gods and Ancient Buddha Holy Land have also produced 1 each. A total of 5 paragons have been produced. As for the catacombs, currently only Monster Plant's Royal Court has a newly promoted True King. Monster Life Royal Court's Lord will probably advance to True King realm in the near future. Originally, Monster Plant's Royal Court's Lord had a chance, which was 3. However, now that his Tao of Origin has been destroyed, there is no hope. In the past 100 years, they have only produced 2 true king powerhouses. Moreover, they belong to 2 royal courts. One can imagine what a true king powerhouse means. The death of Monster Life Royal Court's true king will cause a lot of repercussions. It might even cause some true kings to become afraid of battle. Therefore, Warlord killing the opponent has its pros and cons, Zhang Tao explained briefly. Warlord killing the opponent had its pros and cons. According to his calculations, not killing the opponent might have more pros than cons, but it was hard to say. That day, Warlord did not listen to him and killed the opponent. Perhaps he had his own considerations. Intimidating Monster Life Royal Court's true king might not be any less effective than Zhang Tao's calculations. Fong Ping understood and smiled. Since it's so important, as long as I start a fire, it will cause a huge uproar. At this time, it is still necessary for me to go to the restricted area. There are both public and private motives. As long as it's done properly, I don't think it's too difficult to make the 2 royal courts hostile. These 2 royal courts have always been rivals. Before the war with humans, they fought for many years. Both sides have a deep hatred for each other. Zhang Tao took a slight breath. It's very dangerous. Going deep into the enemy's territory is not as easy as you think. It's fine if it's a normal rank 9, but if you encounter a true king, you might not be able to hide it from the other party. Yes, you can change your chi. It's fine if it's a normal martial artist, but if a true king powerhouse really suspects you and probes your body inch by inch, there will still be a difference. There are some differences in our cultivation system and the catacombs martial artists. Some of our internal structures are also slightly different. It's not like you don't understand. The catacombs martial artists go through a process of energy transformation, but we don't. If both sides are examined in detail, the difference will be huge. Once you're suspected, once a true king powerhouse probes your body inch by inch, you'll be exposed immediately. As for you, an earth martial artist entering the catacombs, it's not that easy to disguise yourself perfectly. It's not like what you think. They only look at your chi. Do you understand? Fong Ping nodded. He was clear about this. When the catacombs martial artists reach rank 3, their hearts would begin to transform into energy. When they reached the middle ranks, they would go through the process of transforming their internal organs into energy. This was not the case for human martial artists. Both sides' martial arts were generally the same, but there were differences in the specific process, which also led to some differences between both sides. There's no need for a true king to probe a middle-rank martial artist's body, right? There are countless restricted area martial artists, but only so many true kings. Why are they so free? You're too dazzling. When Zhang Tao said this, Fang Ping could not tell if it was a compliment or a disdain. But the latter was more likely. Zhang Tao said it with a sneer on his face. You're a troublemaker, kid. If you go and something happens, it'll be fine if it happens once or twice. But if it happens repeatedly, it'll be strange if they don't suspect you. Normal middle-rank martial artists might not even see a true king powerhouse in their entire lives. As for Fang Ping, it was hard to say. Maybe he would meet a true king powerhouse soon. Not continuing this topic, Zhang Tao asked again, "Do you really want to go?" "Yes." "Then I won't stop you." "Of course, I won't help you either. You figure it out yourself. Now that I've appeared at Imperial Sea Mountain, I'm the focus of all powerhouses. 3 days at the end of every month, I'll enter Imperial Sea Mountain to patrol. I won't enter at other times, and my patrol can only patrol 1 or 2 territories. Which territory are you planning to come out from?" "Near Magic City's catacombs." Zhang Tao nodded slightly and said, "That's good too. Help me investigate the situation. If you can enter the Monster Plant's Royal Court's Royal City, help me collect information about the Monster Plant's Royal Court's Lord. This person, although his Tao of origin is crippled, it's hard to say that he's really crippled. In short, he's a dangerous person. You don't have to deliberately collect anything, just ask around. Also, in the True King Hall, the Monster Plant's Royal Court's Lord is more mysterious. If you can find out some information, then do it. Other than that, you can also collect some gossip. Don't underestimate gossip. So True King and so True King don't get along. They have a hostile relationship. These gossips are extremely useful. Our people can't enter the restricted area. They can only move around the vicinity of the king battlefield and can't get any information. However, once we collect this information and know some of the situation, then we can take advantage of the situation and guide these hostile true kings together at the critical moment. Maybe there will be an unexpected surprise. These information shouldn't be considered top secret in the catacombs. Of course, that's only for the upper echelons. Most of the middle and lower echelons don't know about it. Therefore, gossip is often more important than the information you deliberately collect. Fang Ping smiled. I understand. No wonder the director likes to listen to gossip. Zhang Tao snorted softly. Finally, after some thought, he said, since you're going in this time, then I'll say one more thing. There's a high chance that the Catacombs' 2 kings are still alive. They're at the king battlefield. If you have the chance to go in, see if you can revive the 2 kings. Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. He said hesitantly, once the 2 kings are revived, then wouldn't that, there might be internal strife. Nothing can be certain. Zhang Tao smiled. There's no harm in taking a gamble. You just have to protect your own life. Of course, you might not have the chance to go in. Also, don't overestimate the 2 kings. The 2 kings probably aren't at the Emperor realm. Maybe they're powerhouses with 2 paths, maybe 3 paths. Of course, there's also the possibility that powerhouses who have gone further in one path might not be stronger than the Heavenly King. That can't be, right? Fang Ping was a little surprised. He asked hurriedly, the 2 kings are that weak? Weak? Zhang Tao sneered. Who gave you the confidence to say that true king powerhouses who have taken 2 paths are weak? Zhang Tao glanced at him. This kid was really arrogant. Do you think it's that easy to go further in the desperate path? If it's that easy, the Heavenly King wouldn't be the only one who has taken the second path out of so many desperate realms. Some of the old farts in the Holy Lands, like the Pantheon of Gods, have actually not taken the second path. They're about the same as Warlord, but they've gone further in one path. There are so many true kings in the catacombs. The only one who has taken the second path is the Hall Master of the Hall of True Kings. Otherwise, the catacombs would not have to worry about the Devil Emperor's resurrection. In the battle 1,000 years ago, the Devil Emperor almost single-handedly stirred up the catacombs. According to the situation in the Hall of Myriad Origins, at most 3 powerhouses will enter the catacombs, or at least the Devil Emperor alone. Think about it. What does it mean to attack the catacombs with the power of one person? This is the confidence and strength of a powerhouse who has taken 3 paths. Even if the 2 kings are strong, there's a limit. Moreover, so many years have passed. Even if they didn't die back then, they must have been seriously injured. Now that they've recovered, they're at most on par with a Hall Master powerhouse. The more it's like this, the easier it is to cause internal strife. If they're strong enough to suppress the Hall Master, then there won't be any internal strife. Fong Ping nodded slightly. Let's wait and see. Besides, the king battleground has already been decided. The next time will be 3 years later. I might not have the chance to go in. That's hard to say. Of course, you don't have to be too stubborn, Zhang Tao said, then warned. Don't even think about the imperial city's mineral veins. In the restricted area, there are more mineral veins than in the outer realm. There are countless mineral veins in the imperial city. There's even a life essence pool. However, it's also extremely dangerous. In short, if you want to go this time, just treat it as a stroll. Don't purposely make a big fuss. The more deliberate you are, the more troublesome it will be. Fong Ping nodded. He asked again, then, if I kill Ji Yao, will it cause a war between the 2 royal courts? Don't get any ideas about Ji Yao. Zhang Tao did not know whether to laugh or cry. This guy was still staring at that woman. He explained, after these few times, if nothing goes wrong, it's very likely that Ji Yao has the Life King's mentality avatar on her. Under normal circumstances, the Life King might not split these. But now, the situation is different. Ji Yao almost died in your hands a few times. The Monster Life King court is also participating in the war. It won't be the same as before. This time, when you encounter the descendants of the true kings, you better be careful. Who knows, one of them might have this. Especially the descendants of the high-ranked true kings. Now that the situation is not good for us, it's the same for them too. In order to protect these high-ranked descendants, it's very normal for some true kings to split out some mentality avatars. Fong Ping nodded again. After thinking for a while, he asked, Minister, if I get my hands on the mentality avatar, can I use it to attack the opponent? Stop dreaming. Although the spirit power avatar is just a program, this program has its own intelligence. Fong Ping added, what I mean is I'll pretend to be a descendant of the true kings and release it. Zhang Tao suddenly felt a little tired. This time, he could not help but ask, the thing about you changing your aura, how did you do it? He had never seen this before. Fong Ping had never shown it in front of him either. However, someone in the restricted area had seen this before. In the past, it was not easy to determine whether it was real or fake, so he did not ask. But now, Fong Ping did not hide this too much. He even dared to enter the restricted area. How could Zhang Tao not know whether it was real or fake? Fong Ping chuckled. Minister, you asked me this. I don't know either. Maybe it's an ability from my past life. Anyway, as long as I pay a certain price, I can do it. There's no special method or anything like that. Can you help me hide my aura? That's impossible. What a pity. Zhang Tao sighed. Otherwise, I'll go to the restricted area for a spin. That'll be more interesting. Zhang Tao looked regretful. What a pity. Such a heaven-defying ability was controlled by this kid. If it were him, when he went to the restricted area would be in chaos. A top-notch powerhouse who could appear beside them at any time and attack the true kings at any time was hiding beside them. What kind of scene would that be? Everyone was in danger. Did the true kings still have the mind to attack Earth? If they did not kill this hidden person, the true kings would probably not even dare to step out of their houses. Regretful as it was, Zhang Tao did not force it. He said, if you want to pretend to be a descendant of the true kings, it'll depend on your luck. The weaker true king's mentality avatars are always silent. They are not the active kind. However, the powerful true king's mentality avatars will also be in an active period. They can sense everything that is happening around them. Of course, there are not many who have this ability. Also, it depends on how much mentality they can split. Compared to the subduing heavenly king, he can do it. However, the avatars he split contain not much mentality. At this time, they can only be silent. Not everyone is as strong as me. Not everyone is like me. The avatars I gave you all contain a lot of mentality. Kid, you wasted 2 of my avatars. My mentality has been cut by at least 10%. You'll have to deal with this yourself. If it weren't for you, I might have broken through to the Emperor realm by now. Fong Ping rolled his eyes. How dare you say that? After that, Zhang Tao told him about the situation that he understood. When he was almost done, he said, Minister, I'm going to carry out such a dangerous mission this time. Are you not going to give me a single cent? Zhang Tao's face darkened. Did I ask you to go? You insisted on going, and now you're asking me for benefits. I'm so poor. Do I have any benefits for you? I can't bring the mentality avatars. They can't be stored in the storage ring. If I bring them, I'll be easily discovered. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something else. For example, something like life essence. Give me 80 to 100 caddies. Energy stones or something like that. Give me a few tons too. Or something like the heavenly golden lotus. Give me a few dozen. No. Zhang Tao rejected him without hesitation. Fong Ping looked sad. He said softly, forget it then. If I die in the catacombs, so be it. Add me to the National Memorial on the 8th. Just pretend that I'm dead. Okay. Fong Ping was exhausted. You agreed so quickly. Zhang Tao might have said that, but he struggled for a long time. With a pained expression, he took out an armor and threw it to Fong Ping. He sighed. I'm borrowing it. Return it to me when you come back. Fong Ping caught it. His eyes lit up. He said, a rank 8 divine weapon armor? If you had this, why didn't you take it out earlier? You still complain about being poor every day. You're already at the top. This is useless to you. Why did you hide it? Isn't that a waste? Zhang Tao said impatiently. What do you mean hide it? What do you know? This armor was damaged previously. It can't be used anymore. I spent some effort to repair it. It hasn't been repaired for long. I've just repaired it, so I'm lending it to you now. All right, this armor is not very auspicious. Use it as you see fit. Inauspicious? The owner who used it is dead. It's fine if he's dead, but the armor is still here. It hasn't disappeared. Don't you think it's inauspicious? Almost all of them were beaten into minced meat the moment they took out their armor. Even the armor was damaged. It's not the first time. It's the third time. You're the fourth kid. I hope it's not like this time. Fong Ping was speechless. He did not care anymore. Rank 8 armor was good stuff. Divine weapon armor was the most precious type of divine weapon. Even old Zhang was jealous of Iron Head's divine armor. It was obvious how precious it was. The value of a rank 8 divine armor was comparable to that of a rank 9 divine weapon. It was worth at least 100 billion. Old Zhang said he was lending it to him. Fong Ping said straightforwardly, this is considered a reward. There's also interest. You owe me a lot of money. This is mine. When I reach rank 9, when I don't need it anymore, I'll give it to someone else. Humph. Zhang Tao humphed. I owe you money? If you dare to say another word, I promise to smack you to death. However, when Fong Ping said reward, he was too lazy to say anything. He would let Fong Ping say whatever he wanted. When this kid was fattened up, he would just take him back. At this point, the matter was considered to have come to an end. After leaving the top floor, Fong Ping met up with old Wang downstairs. Both of them walked outside the building. The pedestrians were in a hurry. Many people formed groups discussing the catacombs. Some were worried, some were full of fighting spirit, looking eager to try. Wang Jinyang watched for a while. He did not ask about Fong Ping. He said, in the near future, I might go to the land of kings. My realm isn't advancing fast enough. I've only reached middle stage rank 7 now. My speed is too slow. Only going to the land of kings can help me improve quickly. Ji Yao and the rest know that you're good friends with me. It's okay. The land of kings is still somewhat fair. In the rank 7 region, I'm not necessarily afraid of anyone. I'll ask Iron Head and Old Yao later. If the situation permits, we'll go together. With Iron Head around, even if a rank 8 powerhouse comes across the border, he might not be able to kill us. Fong Ping did not say anything after Old Wang said so. Everyone had their own paths to walk. It was impossible for Fong Ping to always act together with them. Now that he had reached rank 8, Old Wang and the rest had become a burden. Old Wang knew this too, so he did not ask Fong Ping what he wanted to do. He could not participate in what Fong Ping was doing now. Just like Qin Fengqing, Fong Ping and the rest were rank 7. This fellow was rank 6. Qin Fengqing could not participate in what Fong Ping and the rest were doing. Be careful. You too. Genius 1 second to remember this site's address. Mobile version. Chapter 716. November 2nd. Macmao. In the Crystal Tower. Old Man Li frowned. Are we really going in? Yes. Fong Ping exhaled and said, I'm out of money. Old Man Li frowned again. Out of money? Fong Ping still had a mineral vein here. Why was he out of money? However, he had a rather deep understanding of Fong Ping and had a rough understanding of the situation. After thinking for a while, he said, in these 2 days, we will initiate a war and kill some powerhouses while we're at it. If you want to impersonate someone, it's best if you impersonate someone from the outer city. You're not familiar with the inner city. If you impersonate someone else, it'll be easy for you to slip up. But the people from the outer cities don't have high statuses. Fong Ping furrowed his brows slightly and said, if my status is low, I'll be a nobody in the restricted area. Does the master of Monster Sunflower City have any descendants? I don't know. Old Man Li's answer was straightforward. Humans could not enter Monster Sunflower City at all, so how would they know about these things? Then while you guys are fighting, I'll sneak into the city. It's best to lure that sunflower out as well. It's inside the city, and its perception is very strong. I'm afraid it'll be very difficult for me to enter the inner city. If there's a war, will the Young Warriors tournament be canceled? I don't think so, but if the city lord is dead, then it's hard to say. Old Man Li shook his head and said, Monster Sunflower City's governor isn't that easy to kill. He's also a powerhouse who stepped into the origin path. Now, they had learned their lesson. Once the battle started, many rank 9s would come to their aid very soon. The only way to do that is to kill him in an instant. But even if Old Wu and I join forces, we won't be able to kill an Essence Dao expert in an instant. I'm fine. Fong Ping laughed. There's no rush. Monster Sunflower City will be destroyed sooner or later. Since we can't kill him, the competition definitely won't be canceled. It's better to do it sooner rather than later. A large number of young martial artists will be rushing to Monster Sunflower City in the next few days. It might start soon, so don't miss it. Then tonight it is. Old Man Li was straightforward too. Very quickly, he set the time. Then he said in a low voice, this time, you'll sneak in secretly. Don't expose yourself. There are a lot of people watching you now. No one can tell if there are spies from the evil cult. As for who the Great Pope is, we still haven't come to a conclusion. There's an extremity realm expert lying in ambush, so it's best to be careful. I know. Fong Ping nodded and said, I'll announce to the public that I'm going into closed-door cultivation these few days to consolidate my realm and control my strength. After discussing with Old Man Li, Fong Ping closed the underground mineral vein and announced that he would continue his closed-door cultivation. He had just entered rank 8 and did not have a deep grasp of rank 8 power. It was normal for him to go into seclusion to familiarize himself with his power. Lu Polu had broken through before him and was still consolidating his rank 8 status. At night, Macmao, Qin Fengqing looked at the rank 3 martial artist beside him and was speechless. Is that okay? Nonsense. Fong Ping followed behind him, speaking telepathically. The identity is real. Why can't it work? There were tens of thousands of MCMAU students. Who would know if one more appeared? Don't talk to me. You're the teacher leading the team. Don't talk so much nonsense. Fong Ping, shut up. Even if you want to use sound transmission, you have to call me Zhang San. Zhang San, screw you. Qin Fengqing complained incessantly. Can't you come up with a better name? This is too perfunctory. Why not call him Li Si? Too lazy to talk about this. Qin Fengqing transmitted his voice as he walked. Why don't we take this opportunity to kill the big sunflower? Maybe we can kill it? What's the hurry? I'm afraid that the sunflower seeds are only effective against middle and low-grade cultivators. It might have some effect on rank 7 cultivators, but it won't have any effect beyond that. If we don't kill it now, it won't be of any use to us in the future. We'll see. As the two of them walked and chatted, a few MCMU students followed them. These people did not seem to mind Fong Ping's presence. Just as Fong Ping had said, there were tens of thousands of students in MCMAU. One more was not a big deal. Moreover, he was not even a middle-ranked. Rank 3 students were not worth much in MCMAU now. Recently, MCMU's instructors and students' abilities had skyrocketed. Among the students, there were almost 1,000 middle-ranked martial artists. If you're not in the middle ranks, not many people will recognize you. Soon, everyone arrived at the entrance of the underground hall. As for identity verification, now that MCMU was about to take over Magic City's catacombs, the verification system had already been transferred to MCMAU. As MCMU's vice-chancellor, it was too easy for Fong Ping to get a fake identity. Or rather, this was his true identity. At the door, the uncle guarding the door was still there. When he saw Qin Fengqing, he couldn't help but smile. "Congratulations, Grandmaster Qin." Qin Fengqing bared his teeth. Grandmaster Qin, this was a good title. This was his first time coming to Magic City's catacombs after his breakthrough. The uncle guarding the door greeted him, looked around, and smiled. "Vice-Chancellor Fong isn't here?" Qin Fengqing grinned. "He wouldn't dare to come. Now everyone wants to beat him up. If I don't blacklist him, he won't be able to come in." Sigh. The uncle guarding the door looked like he had expected it. He said, "It's only a matter of time. The first time he went to the catacombs, I felt that he would be hunted down by the catacombs powerhouses sooner or later. I just didn't expect that he would be wanted by the 108 territories now. He's the enemy, but I'm the hero. Vice-Chancellor Fong can make such a big commotion. It makes us feel good." Vice-Chancellor Fong not going to the catacombs now is also a blow to the catacombs, a deterrent. After chatting for a while, the uncle guarding the door laughed again. "MCMU will soon take over Magic City's catacombs. With MCMU around, I think it's about time to demolish this alloy house. When it's demolished, I won't be needed as a guard anymore. It's time to demolish it." Qin Fengqing stared at the alloy house for a while, chuckling. It's not very effective against rank 8 and 9 martial artists. It can only defend against middle and low-rank martial artists and rank 7 martial artists. However, if the catacombs really fight their way out, the rank 9 martial artists will definitely come out first. I think it's time to demolish it. Otherwise, we can make a super large divine weapon to cover the entrance. Otherwise, these A-class alloys might as well be demolished to make more weapons. Divine weapon. The guard did not know whether to laugh or cry. If you want to cover the entrance, you'll have to refine a defense-type divine weapon. The consumables are much more than normal divine weapons. Where would you find so many divine weapon materials and demon cores? There's none now. It's hard to say in the future. Qin Fengqing chatted with him for a while. Soon he said, "I'll go in first then." After chatting for a while, everyone entered the passageway. In the passageway, Qin Fengqing spoke telepathically as he walked. "Fong Ping, don't say. Why don't you let a few powerhouses in one day? Don't you have the Golden House? Use the Golden House to cover the vortex. Once they come out, they'll enter your Golden House directly. When that time comes, they won't even be able to run. They'll surround and kill those powerhouses directly. Previously, I didn't dare to let them out because I was afraid that they would run fast. Once they entered the normal people's area, it would be troublesome. But now, there's a chance." As soon as he said that, Fong Ping was a little tempted. It seemed to make sense. His own Golden House was a cage. As his mentality became stronger, the Golden House became more stable. Coupled with the forging of imperishable substances, it became even more stable. Today, the Golden House had been broken once. To repair it, it consumed close to 30 million wealth points. That was 3,000 yuan of destructive power. Of course, the Golden House was a house with a scattered nature. Coupled with the influence of Fong Ping's own mentality, it could not achieve a defense that was comparable to 3,000 yuan of imperishable substances. If it could be equated, 3,000 yuan of imperishable substances would have the same level of defensive power. That would be terrifying beyond compare. Until now, The imperishable substances produced by Fong Ping himself were only slightly more than 20 yuan. Rank 8 powerhouses usually would not exceed 100 yuan of power. Rank 9 powerhouses, even with amplification and the origin path, would only have around 100 yuan of power. Perhaps only the absolute peak could achieve more than 1,000 yuan. If it was equivalent, it would be equivalent to the absolute peak of defense. Only the absolute peak of attack could break it. However, it was obviously impossible. As he reached rank 8, Fong Ping's Golden House could still temporarily trap some weak rank 9s. Rank 9s of the origin path would be difficult. It would only take a moment for the Golden House to be broken. However, when his ability became stronger in the future, his mentality improved a little, and he strengthened the Golden House, the origin path might also be able to trap them. Thinking of this, Fong Ping suddenly thought of another problem. If one day, his materialized objects were really comparable to the size of Sino Nation, and they were all filled with imperishable substances, then would the catacombs still need to be guarded? His materialized objects could directly cover Sino Nation and those entrances. Everyone that came out would be trapped. Once trapped, they would be killed slowly. There would not even be a need for defense. Looks like my previous idea is still somewhat reasonable. Even if I reach rank 8, I can't give up on filling up the materialized objects. Fong Ping had a plan in his mind. Rank 8 martial artists mainly cultivated the golden body. This also led to many people not using mentality to materialize objects anymore. At this time, martial artists, even ancient martial artists, also had branches. Some walked the path of the physique, some walked the path of mentality. I used to envy Old Man Li, but Old Man Li is only strong in one-sided explosive power. He was born to fight, and he really doesn't have many tricks. I'm different. I have more tricks than him. Mentality and the physique are cultivated at the same time. Although there's nothing too outstanding, it's also very balanced. My physique defense is not weak, my attack power is not weak either. If my mentality is a little stronger, then I'll be a multifaceted person. Fong Ping had a vague idea. Before this, he had always felt that 10,000 Dao unification was ridiculously powerful. He regretted that he did not take the path of 10,000 Dao unification. Actually, if he wanted to, he was not in a hurry to materialize mentality in rank 6. Instead, he mainly cultivated the golden body. He could still take the path of 10,000 Dao unification. However, at that time, there were too many drawbacks to 10,000 Dao unification. Fong Ping had no choice. After that, when he found the 10,000 Dao unification cultivation method, Fong Ping felt a little regretful. Now that he thought about it, if he really took the path of 10,000 Dao unification, the golden house would be integrated into his body. There would no longer be a golden house, which might not be a good thing. It was difficult for others to kill same-rank martial artists. It was not easy for a rank 8 to kill a rank 7 because the other party could run. However, when same-rank martial artists met Fong Ping, there was only one word: death. Because they could not run. If they ran, Fong Ping would cover the other party. If the other party could not even break the golden house, where could they run to? The coverage of mentality was not small. Within the coverage area, materialization could occur anywhere. Most martial artists' materialization could not trap the enemy, but Fong Ping could do it. Now it seems that it's good not to take the path of 10,000 Dao unification. I'm different from others. I have this condition to develop in a balanced manner. The others don't have this condition, so they can only focus on one path. Fong Ping had a plan in his mind. Rank 8 martial artists focused on cultivating the golden body because they could not dual cultivate. They cultivated mentality and honed the golden body. That rank 8 realm could trap everyone for hundreds of years. When he was thinking about this, everyone had already arrived at Hope City. Today, there were a lot of MCMEU instructors and students in Hope City, thousands of them. Less than 100 li away, there were also thousands of MCMEU instructors and students stationed in Demon City. Demon City's main defense target was Monster Phoenix City. That place was closer to Monster Phoenix City. Hope City's main defense target was Monster Sunflower City. Wu Quishan guarded Hope City, while Old Man Li guarded Demon City. However, Today, both of them were in Hope City. Not only them, but Guo Shengquan and the other two rank 8 golden body powerhouses were also there. The three of them joined forces and were comparable to a rank 9's combat strength. Qin Fengqing brought Fang Ping and the others into Hope City. He let them wander around casually, then went to the military camp in the central area. Tonight, they were going to attack Monster Sunflower City. As a Grandmaster-level powerhouse, he was also the main combat strength. As for Fang Ping, the rank 3 martial artist was better off playing by himself. Central Military Camp. Elder Fan had not left yet. Recently, the government had the intention of transferring him to guard Nanjiang's catacombs. However, MCMAU had not officially started the handover. He also needed to guard for a period of time to complete the handover with MCMAU. In the command hall, Su Mafu frowned slightly. Dean Li, the situation now is not too stable. Frequent wars may not be a good thing. We don't even have time to recuperate. Moreover, as the number of battles increases, I'm worried that more cities will join the war. Skygate City. 300 li ahead of Demon City, there are 2 other cities surrounding it. Recently, they have been restless. If Elder Fan doesn't leave soon, I'm afraid that the 4 cities will join hands soon. In the Magic City catacombs, there were already 2 rank 9s here. Old Man Li could be counted as well. Including Guo Shengquan and the rest, there were 4 of them. Only Old Man Li and Guo Shengquan did not have rank 9 Qi dynamics. That was why the 4 cities did not form a complete alliance. However, once the battles became frequent, an alliance was only a matter of time. Magic City Catacombs was currently the first catacombs where 4 cities might join forces. Not only did MCMU's participation not reduce the pressure, but it also increased the pressure on Su Mafu and the others. Old Man Li said nonchalantly, "These people are just despicable wretches. We must beat them until they are afraid." This was how the catacombs were. Everyone was selfish. If you did not beat them up, they would think that you were easy to bully. If they were easy to bully, coupled with the restricted area's hostility towards MCMAU, something big would happen sooner or later. Rather than that, he might as well kill the chicken to warn the monkey. Let them know that we are not to be trifled with. After so many years, they had not been able to work together completely. It would not be that easy in such a short period of time. Monster Sunflower City has joined the war for less than a year, and they have already suffered heavy casualties. This time, if we get rid of a portion of them, these fellows will naturally be afraid. Beside him, Wu Quishan glanced at Old Man Li. After some thought, he said, "If we make a move, Monster Phoenix City will probably make a move too. Old Man Fan and Instructor Gua, you guys will deal with Monster Phoenix City." Currently, Monster Phoenix City has no plans to start a full-scale war. At most, they will send out 2 rank 9 powerhouses. Changsheng and I will attack Monster Sunflower City, Su Mafu said hurriedly. Then who will guard Hope City? Su Mafu said quickly. Once you guys are entangled, if another rank 9 from the city attacks and you can't get away, it is very likely that the other party will barge into the passageway. Old Man Li heard that and laughed. Then I will go and ambush the other party. Old Wu will guard the passageway. If I ambush the other party alone, it will be easier to kill people. It will not arouse the fear of all the city lords. This time, I will see if I can take the opportunity to kill the remaining 2 rank 8 powerhouses. When the war breaks out, killing a rank 8 along the way is also something that can't be helped. Actually, we have already completely fallen out with them. Other than the absolute powerhouses who can't make a move, killing a few is nothing. At most, we will be more vigilant in the future to prevent the catacombs rank 9 from attacking our rank 7 and 8 martial artists. Can you do it alone? Wu Quishan was a little hesitant. Old Man Li sneered. Of course, no problem. The me now is not the me from before. Even if it is difficult to fight 1 against 2, if they want to kill me, that is also wishful thinking. In the Forbidden Catacombs, 6 rank 9s can't even hunt me down, let alone them. Back then, I was only a rank 8 3rd refinement. Now, I have completed the 5th refinement and entered the 6th refinement. At this time, Normal martial artists have already entered the weak rank 9. In terms of strength, those who have not gone far on the origin path are no match for me. Today, Old Man Lee's vitality had exceeded 90,000 calories. At this time, it was already advancing towards 100,000 calories. After achieving 90,000 calories, most martial artists would choose to comprehend the origin path, taking the first step and officially entering rank 9. An extremely small number of martial artists would continue to hone their golden body and complete the 6th refinement, reaching a limit of 100,000 calories before advancing to rank 9. However, Old Man Lee felt that it was better to continue honing his golden body than to walk on the origin path. To him, honing a golden body at rank 8 only needed to consume energy. When he reached rank 9, he needed to comprehend the realm and martial arts. Rank 9 progress would not be too fast, even for him. It was better to hone his golden body a few more times at rank 8 before stepping into rank 9, becoming a top-notch rank 9 powerhouse in one fell swoop. As soon as he said that, Ko Bianjiang, who had been guarding the Magic City catacombs for many years, could not help but say, "You have already entered rank 8's 6th refinement? That's really fast." The old man was a little envious. At the same time, he was also jealous. With a complicated expression, he said, "These days pass really fast. I remember this time last year, a little later, Fong Ping invited me, Tian Mu, Chen Yaoding, Lu Pulu, and a few others to escort him back to Nanjiang. At that time, Tian Mu was rank 8, Chen Yaoding was rank 7, Lu Polu was rank 7, I was rank 8, and you were only rank 6. In the blink of an eye, Tian Mu was rank 9. Chen Yaoding completed rank 8 3rd refinement and entered rank 8 4th refinement. You even achieved myriad unification and entered rank 8 6th refinement. Even that old fellow Lu Polu is rank 8. Ko Bianjiang's expression was complicated beyond belief. Damn it, I was already rank 8 3rd refinement at that time. Now I'm actually in the same realm as Chen Yaoding, also just entered rank 8 4th refinement. I can't even reason with this. Old Man Lee chuckled. Can't help it. He's talented and improves fast. Come on. Ko Bianjiang sneered, stroking his beard. You guys improve so fast. It's all related to that kid Fong Ping. Speaking of which, this kid also owes me a debt. In the past, considering that he was too weak, I didn't think of asking him to repay the debt. But now this kid is already rank 8, and I heard that he has also entered rank 8 3rd refinement. Shouldn't we find a time to let him repay the debt? Wu Quishan and the others could not help but laugh. Ko Bianjiang said that Fong Ping owed him a debt of gratitude. This was true. Back then, when Fong Ping was escorted back to Nanjiang, Ko Bianjiang had also put in a lot of effort. Old Man Lee chuckled and said, "Then you go look for him yourself. That kid probably doesn't have any assets now. We'll talk about it after some time. But old Ko, you get lost. Who are you calling?" Ko Bianjiang said with a face full of dissatisfaction. "In the past, you used to call me Old Ko, but now, when Old Ko, Li Changsheng, and old you were here, you weren't so arrogant. You're a lowly person intoxicated by success. Now that you're strong, you don't care about me anymore, right?" Old Man Lee was very gloomy. Fong Ping kept calling him Old Man Lee, but he was indeed not that old. He had just passed 60 years old, and there was still a gap between him and Ko Bianjiang, who was 70 or 80 years old. When the old principal was alive, he was only in his early 80s. These people were all martial artists of the old principal's generation. He was also the old principal's student, so he was a generation lower. Old Man Lee did not say much. He changed the topic right away and said, "Then it's settled. We'll wait for another hour. Then we'll ambush Monster Sunflower City." In the past, the main focus of the military headquarters was defense. However, if MCMU was stationed there, it would be using offense as defense. There are only 12 cities in the Magic City catacombs. If all of them join forces, we'll join forces with the rank 9 in the country and fight them once more. As long as Absolute Peak can withstand it, we can even destroy 12 cities in the Magic City catacombs. Wu Quishan shook his head and said, "Don't be too optimistic. There won't be such an opportunity again. If a great war breaks out next, I'm afraid the cities from other territories will also join forces during the Great War. That's different. Old Manly laughed and said, just the transmission of information alone, they're already a beat slower than us. They still have to pass the message through the restricted area. We're different. We can go straight out of the passageway. It's just a phone call. We can call whoever we want. Let the rank nines gather. As long as the news doesn't leak, they won't even have time to mobilize when they suddenly ambush a catacombs. As long as the speed is fast enough, then there's no problem. However, this will easily cause the people from other territories to be in danger. I'm afraid it will speed up their alliance. We don't have to do this unless it's necessary. While they were talking, Old Man Li had already sensed Qin Fengqing's aura. He took a deep breath and said, get ready. Gather the other high-ranked martial artists. The main purpose this time is still to kill some monster Sunflower City rank 7 and 8 martial artists. Killing one is one. If the rank 9 doesn't die, the Catacombs' true king won't be too concerned. Everyone had no objections. Currently, MCMU was the main force in Magic City Catacombs. Since MCMU had chosen to attack instead of defend, then they would follow MCMU's intentions. Around 8 p.m., Monster Sunflower City. At this moment, Monster Sunflower City was brightly lit. City Lord's Mansion. The main hall. The City Lord of Monster Sunflower City sat on the throne. On his left was the son of the Monster Plant Court's king, and on his right was Feng Yeshing. Both of them did not leave. Instead, they returned to Monster Sunflower City. The City Lord of Monster Sunflower City looked at both of them. There was a smile on his face, but there was a burst of contempt in his heart. These two fellows still dared to come. If it wasn't for them last time, things would not have happened. As he thought about it, the City Lord of Monster Sunflower City wore a smile on his face. He said, Your Highness and Prince Foam can come to Monster Sunflower City this time. Monster Sunflower City is honored by your presence. I wonder if the royal court can give more quotas this time? Both of you know that there have been frequent battles recently. Monster Sunflower City has also suffered heavy losses. In the battle where Monsterwood City was destroyed, one of Monster Sunflower City's venerables died in battle, and 6 of their chieftains died in battle. Now that we're facing MCMU head-on, we need new blood. As soon as he said this, Feng Yeshing frowned. This time, it's already more than before. We've given 10 quotas. As soon as he said this, the young man opposite him said lazily, No problem. Give us 2 more, but give us some Fountain of Life and some sunflower fruits. The City Lord of Monster Sunflower City's expression changed slightly. The son of the royal court's king was not secretive at all. He was asking for bribes straight away. Despite his dissatisfaction, after some thought, the City Lord of Monster Sunflower City smiled and said, This is a small matter. Your Highness, about tomorrow's selection, the young man said impatiently, There are 12 quotas. We'll choose half. You can fill up the rest yourself. Just give them whatever you want. As soon as he said this, Feng Yeshing, who was opposite him, was a little disdainful. In any case, he was a descendant of the royal lord. Compared to Ji Yao, he was much worse. As for compared to himself, there was even less of a comparison. After the royal lord was injured, he neglected to discipline him. As one of the successors to the royal court's royal lord, this fellow was so vulgar that he was worse than a brute from the outer domain. As they spoke, the City Lord of Monster Sunflower City's expression changed. He hurriedly got up and said, Damn it, it seems like a powerhouse is attacking. Someone from MCMAU? It's the swordsman Longevity. The City Lord of Monster Sunflower City hurriedly flew out of the hall after saying this. He could no longer care about these 2 people. As soon as he heard about the swordsman Longevity, the young man stood up and roared, Guards, escort me back to the restricted area. Although Feng Yeshing was a little frightened, he could not help but despise him. This fellow was really afraid of death. It was just a swordsman Longevity attacking. There was still the City Lord of Monster Sunflower City and Monster Sunflower City here. Your Highness, don't be impatient. It's not too late to wait. Feng Yeshing advised. There was no other reason. Both of them were here as envoys. They were here to host the youth championship and select some geniuses to enter the restricted area. If they left before the selection began, it would be even more embarrassing. They would be too ashamed to go back. The last time they were chased, they had to flee pathetically back to the restricted area. When they returned to the royal court, they were almost laughed at by the other heirs to the royal court. Wait, if the swordsman longevity comes, Your Highness, it's not that easy. No matter how strong the swordsman longevity is, he's only a rank 8. That's hard to say. The young man said a few words. He was still a little frightened. He paced back and forth in the hall, unable to calm down. When Feng Mieshing saw this scene, he despised him even more. However, when he thought of what his grandfather had said to pay attention to this kid, Feng Mieshing frowned. The last time was a little strange. This kid kept saying that MCMAU was nothing and wanted to kill them. Feng Mieshing could not hold it in anymore, causing the situation to change. Otherwise, Feng Ping might have been killed. In the end, he was almost killed by the swordsman longevity, forcing the city lords to escort them back to the restricted area. This gave the swordsman longevity and the snake king the chance to leave the outland. Is there really something strange about this guy? This thought popped up in Feng Mieshing's mind. However, when he saw that this guy's legs were trembling, he could not help but curse. It did not seem like it. However, it was hard to say. He had to observe more. His grandfather valued the Lord very much. Although the Lord did not have long to live, his position as the heir to the Lord might not be secure. Whether he's a real piece of trash or not, if there's a chance, this thought popped up in Feng Mieshing's mind. However, after some thought, it was not the right time. He came with this guy. If this guy really died here, the Lord would still be in his position. He might be able to guess that it had something to do with him. Then the loss would outweigh the gain. Please remember this book's domain name, 9 Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile version, that you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.